Let the great talking begin!
Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's what we sound like.
I'm Corey.
I'm Cameron, and we're on Talking Slimulator.
One of us can spell and one of us can't, and one of us made a tweet and had to delete the tweet. It's fine. No one saw anything.
Nobody saw a thing. One of us can talk, and one of us can talk only lies. I.e. not talk. Who is who? Decide your fate.
Yes, chat, you get to ask us only one question.
Mm-hmm.
Only one of us one question. Choose wisely.
I've been shown Journey Quest by a friend, which was like a not quite early internet, but, you know, about a decade ago, low budget, you know, sketch group doing, you know, the kind of D&D adventures.
Yeah.
And their paladin had a really elegant solution to that problem, is that he just murdered one of them and asked the other one.
That is a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything can be a Gordian knot with a greatsword.
I mean, when you've got a great sword, everything's a Gordian knot.
Well.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I'm gonna go get
have my name on it. I don't need a glass. I'm good.
Okay, I'm going to get a glass with ice. Thank you, Heather. Heather is a hero.
Have we considered playing Hive Swap? Nope. I've played a little bit of like Hive Swap and Pester Quest, but I'm not really into the Homestucks, so I'm not really equipped to enjoy them as much. If that makes sense. Just gonna unbox myself a tissue. Excited for potential future Norco. It is on the list. Norco's on the short list. I played Norco like immediately when it came out, and just slipped through it like butter. It was. There's definitely narrative there, but it's not the most difficult of video games.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Norco speedrun any percent?
Pretty much. It was like the first time I played Depression Quest.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, I know the correct thing to do. Boop, 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 I win.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson learned. I'm the best at Depression.
Yeah, I can see the Matrix.
Yeah, it's... God, in Norco, yeah, there was a moment that I was just like, oh, they've given me a clue. I'll write it down. And then it was just on the UI. And it was like, oh. Click, 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 click.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we get into it?
Let's get into it. We are continuing the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Our boy Billiam, who's not a knight at the moment, could maybe be given a knighthood, a
Knighthood?
maybe of some sort. He could get the mantle, become a judge.
Ooh.
Peacetime's really long. That looks really good.
I could go for a long peacetime.
I would love one of those.
We are currently 17 years old, and we have made only the correct decisions. Ooh, there are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the Library of Eterna for hours, sometimes until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more, and finally, the day comes. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today. The breeze is warm. You dress in your best outfit, a gray jacket and velvet culotte trousers. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You leave the lodging house and head for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with each step. Your anxiety at the fact that your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart.
I've had that exam.
Yep. The college is a majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it, you can already see several dozen people, young men, sons of nobles of the mantle like you, waiting for the college's doors to open. Time slows to a crawl. At last, the doors open. A stately man dressed in a professor's mantle appears at the entrance. He is the dean of the college. The students-to-be fall silent as the dean gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. But the silence is interrupted by heavy footsteps and clanking armor. A squadron of warriors emerges near the college, led by Arcanian officers. Their banner bears an image of golden grains. Are they the noble militia of Monia province? What are they doing here? The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. One of the Arcanians is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He is the leader of the militia. He locks the bar on the massive doors of the college into place, then proceeds to the stairs to address the crowd loudly. Commoners, before you stands Agarius of the Monrogue dynasty, Archduke of Monia. By my will, the college is hereby closed and today's exam is cancelled. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honor of rendering service to the Empire, a right that ought to be available only to the hereditary nobles of the sword. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not a trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and other traitors to the Empire are indulging you in defacing the institution of the nobility for their lowly interests. A noble lot for those of lowly birth? How can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of the Imperial Order. Now turn away from the college this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Plow your fields, mend your boots, and work and suffer by your lot. If any of you dare set foot upon these stairs, you will be killed at once. The students-to-be meet this speech with a stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing, however. The news of the Monian noble militia and the college's closing spreads through the streets like wildfire. More humans join the crowd. College students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be ennobled. Unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archduke Monrogue's forces to take control of the college and defend your right to become noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. This is a decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of the shameful, illegal act by the Archduke's forces, you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You will need to break through the cordon, get inside the college, and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if your presence is strong enough. If you are ready to risk it all and fight for your right to the nobility, you will have to lead the charge. But we have tiny little...
We gotta fight for our right to sit on a court.
But we're bad at fighting.
Just because our bones are very brittle and our face is very punchable and we spent a lot of time studying does not mean that a student riot is a bad idea.
They have the bodies of heavy lifters. We have the bodies of heavy readers.
The pen is mightier.
You know who wrote that?
Nerd.
A nerd.
History is written by the nerds.
People keep coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. The lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right path. When the estates clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble militia and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the riotous commoners to return to the preordained divine order lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods? As the priests utter these words, the crowd around you disappears. A vision appears before your eyes. The empire is ablaze. You see burning lands steeped with pain and despair everywhere you look, rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell that soil scorched by such fire will never bear fruit again. The gods' given vision demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world, but only a priest may speak to the twins and for the twins, and to the twins and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troop of commoners moving quickly through the crowd. They are led by Sophia. As soon as she sees you, she signals to them to stop. So you're here too, going to rush the college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They gave you the right to study here just to throw you a bone. When the going gets tough, your masters will take it all away. It's time for you to decide. We are the Lotless, and we are not putting up with this system any longer. We will fight for a new world. Are you coming with us, or are you going to submit to them? There are students and professors locked inside the college. Who knows how long Monroe will maintain this siege? And what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're going inside to pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny.
Seize the reins!
Woo! The tension in the square is palpable, and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through en masse. Surely they won't start a massacre. The Lotless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people in the college. And all the while the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. Surely there is middle ground here between, as the priests tell us, find the middle ground between doing what you're told and doing what your rights are, which is to do what you're told.
Yeah. You get to decide how difficult this is going to be for you.
Yeah. The college is your only way into the nobility. Only you can fight for your new lot and fulfill your duty to your family. You could organize an offensive strong enough to get into the college and thus seize your lawful right like a true nobleman. Okay, what are we actually good at, though? Yet
You can check our profile. Okay.
Manipulation. Not
backstabbing. We can stab people in the ass.
Yeah.
Just get behind them and push R2.
Yep. Honestly, all we need to do is parry. We can just parry. Yet the revelation about the wrath of the gods still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path, standing with the priests and preaching what you have just seen, warning all of the dire danger of the path of warring estates, bringing the twins' word to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lotless, they expect you to join their struggle. They are waiting for you to cast off the old ways and the eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot and your suffering will continue. But your suffering might just change this world. Suffering, huh? Yeah.
Doesn't say we die.
It doesn't. Which must mean that we live.
But what if we just carried on with what we were planning to do, which was be a good student and study good?
Yeah.
It's the same as breaking in and getting everybody out, except it's breaking in and staying there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about this? We were told there would be suffering this way.
Oh.
And it's right there in the title of the game.
It is. It's like you have to burn the rope, right? Like you have, like it's all clues, all the themes, the intersection.
Yeah. And I mean, I do love suffering. But we did unlock this one.
Yeah. So it must be better.
All right. What do you think? I don't know. I think I want to. Let's suffer. Maximum suffering?
Maximum suffering.
Maximum suffering.
Let's maximize our suffering.
Okay.
And then later that's gonna pay out.
Yeah, because there's
you have to stay
balance.
alive in order to suffer. Yeah.
You have decided. The storm of doubt in your mind clears at last. You are done serving the will of others. You will defy your lot and you do not need another. You are free already, and for this freedom you are ready to sacrifice anything. You walk to the Lotless as Sophia smiles at you softly. Her companions pat you on the shoulder, and then you get to work. The Lotless withdraw from the mob in the square and prepare for the raid. They are strong people of lowly birth, and their clothes are covered in dirt and soot. They hang on Sophia's every word. So the plan is simple. I will go to the warriors by the side gate and distract them. You know me, I have my ways. Is it a fireball?
No, she's gonna try to sex them. She's gonna show a little ankle, like, ooh, it would be lovely if you two gentlemen could follow me into this dark alleyway. I promise you a good time.
And then, fireball!
Yep. Her eyes glow yellow, and then laser eyes. Yeah.
The rest of you must get inside the college and lead the people outside. When you are done, wait for my signal. Sparks of yellow flash in Sophia's eyes. She walks with confidence to the nobles guarding the side gate. They meet her with drawn swords, and then a flash of yellow fills her eyes. The warriors freeze in place. Sophia walks away and they follow her obediently. The path is clear. You hear one of the Lotless gasp in awe. That's our owl, all right. Only she can do that. It's time. You open the gate and get inside the college, leaving the cries of the mob behind. Nobody stops you. Once this is done, you scatter to search the halls for students and professors. They are not too eager to trust the trespassing commoners, but with Arachnean swords hanging over their heads, they trust you anyway. Your student garb helps you convince them. You take everyone you can find out of the college through the same unguarded gate. The Lotless take a roll call in an alleyway behind the college. You rescued almost 24 men. Sophia is the last to reach you. It is time to leave. The maze of hidden alleyways takes you safely to a patch of abandoned land. Sophia clambers up onto the half-crumbled wall of an old house. She lights her pipe and gestures confidently to for everyone to come closer.
She's just gonna do Gandalf's bit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Now we're gonna get dragon fireworks, like.
I'm here for it. Welcome all. We are the Lotless. We are the people who will never stand for the injustice of the imperial system. We live as we see fit. We have no masters, only our own free will. Join our ranks and you will be forever free from the whims of the Arachneans and the gentry. Walk away and they will be free to do with you as they see fit. I believe today was a fair show of their intentions. The freed students exchange glances. If they join you, their hope of being ennobled by the mantle will be cut short, but they already saw how precarious their position is. Many of them are enraged by the fact that the Arachneans can take their rights whenever they please. We won't force you to stay. You're free to leave and go back to the college when it opens. If it opens. But if you don't want to dance to their tune anymore, the Lotless welcome you.
It's always the Mexican hat dance. They always make you dance the Mexican hat dance.
Many students joined the ranks of the Lotless that day. You are among them. You are greeted by the motto of the Lotless. Our cause is just. It's succinct, I guess.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yep. Our cause is just what? Your new life has begun. Your life as a member of an outlaw brotherhood. Sick. There is no going back. You will be neither nobleman nor priest. Your father will never forgive you for letting the family down. But for the first time in your life, you feel truly free. You have defied your lot. Now your fate is yours alone. What will happen next?
Good thing our grandpa's already dead or he'd kill us again.
Yeah, our campaign motto is "We Are Right," which conveniently abbreviates to WAR! You remain in the communist state with no choice but to fend for yourself and make your own way in the world. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in the uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. It takes you a moment to recognize Thomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace. Brante, hey, how are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down in the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep lowborn folks under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself.
All on its own.
As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. He is beaming with pride. You invite him in and chat while you pack. Thomas continues to relay the news as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10. Can you imagine? Did pretty well in sparring and the sciences. It was all thanks to the help you gave me back in school in Anazot. I'll be studying the art of war now, and then it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you? You tell Thomas about what happened over the past few days of the path you have been chosen. you have chosen. He remains quiet. As you speak, both of you realize that you may never see each other again.
And it's a good thing.
You know, Brant, here's what I think. You may have your own path in life, but you're my friend. We gotta make sure our friendship lasts forever, no matter what happens to us. Bros, 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 bros. Here, I brought 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both the rings and their wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter where fate takes them. What do you say? The 2 of you grew up side by side. Thomas, the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But would it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever, no matter what happens? 2 rings made of plain brass lie in his open palm. If you wear these rings, you will be bound by the ties of friendship for the rest of your life. We can't swear an oath? No, we're not nobles.
Yeah. You just, well, I guess, sure, I'll take it, but I'm not going to swear to you.
Yeah.
But we can also choose the path of ultimate suffering.
Oh. Oh. What if we were buds?
What if we were buds?
What if we're just like, nah, we're okay with things the way they are.
Yeah.
Do you want to date? I'm okay with being friends.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Well, see you again never.
I mean, we're never going to see each other again.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, this won't bite us in the
This won't
ass.
come back
This won't
ever.
come back.
We won't have some kind of heart-rending scene later on where Thomas leads some kind of army against the
Or, like,
lawless
tries
uprising.
to, like, use our relationship in order for us to, like, get involved in some nonsense.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
He
We're
wouldn't
friends.
do that.
We're friends. I'm
Like,
sure-
we're gonna throw it in the fire.
Anyway, I think this is more interesting drama. You take one of the rings from his outstretched palm. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even though your paths in life may diverge, nothing will ever tarnish your bond. Nothing will ever tarnish your bond. Nothing.
That's
You're
why
ready
the rings are untarnishable.
Yeah, untarnishable brass rings. Yeah, it's an excellent choice of material to represent something very durable.
Uh-huh.
You are ready to preserve your friendship in brass forever.
I call it friendship in brass.
It's almost like this metaphor is deliberate. You put the brass ring on your pinky, a perfect fit. Thomas does the same. He starts beaming again. Now we're friends forever. For all eternity. For all time. Friends forever. We gotta celebrate this.
How do you
Come.
get your pinky size?
Thomas just knows how girthy our pinky is, okay? Don't worry about it. I know a place. I gotta show you. Tastiest meat I've ever tried, Brant. My treat. The 2 of you go to a noble salon by the square of Emperor Severin. Surrounded by tobacco smoke and mead bottles, you wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence, and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you will never lose sight of each other. Yay! Unbreakable bond of friendship. You write a letter home and tell them you failed to get into the college. There is no other way. Father would have learned everything one way or another. It isn't an easy letter to write. He did send you to the capital specifically to attend the college after all. You write about Archduke Monrogue's assault and the students' doubtful future now that their right to be ennobled by the mantle may be revoked. Excuse me. You tell them that you plan to get a job in the capital and earn a living. They should accept your choice. The reply from your family arrives very quickly. We sent you to the capital with a sole purpose, but you failed. Indeed, nobody expected an attack on the college, but you could have upheld your right to study there had you been more firm. Cornelius Tempest will ensure the college opens again, yet you have already rejected the nobleman's lot. And to what end? I can only accept your choice now, but you will no longer receive any support from the family. It is up to you to earn your keep. I can only hope that you will not disappear in the capital. This entire siege incident is nothing but a poor excuse. You failed to uphold your right to enter the college, and that is the end of it. It cost Father so much time and money to send you to the capital, and you rejected it all. And for what? To remain a commoner until the end of your days? I hoped you would one day become my equal, but now the very thought of this is just absurd. There is another letter. It is from Gloria. It seems neither Father nor Stefan knew she sent it. Sir Robert smashed a vase as he read your letter. Stefan screamed at the top of his lungs about lowborn and foul bloods. Fortunately, I led Mother and Nathan away before we all got in trouble.
You know that, like, people, like, crushing a can or something they're holding?
Yeah.
I was imagining him
Just, like, holding a vase.
Just holding a vase.
And just, like, crumpling it. Somehow, being so angry, he crumples ceramic like tin.
And also I want to thank Empyrean for the Miami Connection thing, because I was singing the song in my head. Friends for eternity, loyalty, honesty, together through thick and thin. Anyways. That's just me.
Yeah, he was holding the vase already because that's just, you know, he drinks from it.
It's got like daisies in it. And
Yeah.
Just...
What? I like how it tastes. And it's sanitary. But I'm proud of you. You defied Father's will. You went against all expectations, against this entire rotten system. You made this decision. Now follow it to the end. I believe this path will lead you somewhere worthy. Take good care of yourself, my brother.
And hey, does your group of misfits need a bard or like a poetry writer?
Possibly. Oh no, Stefan is indifferent to us.
Rip to that relationship, I guess. Hey, we maxed our sister.
Yay! You cast one final glance over the room where you lived for so long. Here's the table at which you sat studying all those books. Here's the bed on which you dreamed your dreams of the future. Your things are packed. You walk down the stairs. The landlord's servile smile is gone now. The unspent remainder of the funds allocated to your accommodation drop onto the counter from his reluctant hand, and then he turns away. You have no lot now. You are free even from the knowledge of your tomorrow. You have cast away your destiny, but for what? This remains to be seen. The Brante family will support you no longer, but you have to find a play to stay in the capital so you can aid the lotless, and so you seek Sophia. I'm afraid I can't offer you a noble estate, but we found a basement in an abandoned house and made it into our home. It's on the bank of the Reglata by the river port. It's livable. There's only one room for everyone, so bring your own bedding, but it's warm and clean, and we have food and a place to keep our things. You'll be safe. After all those carriage rides, going through the city streets on foot isn't half bad. The bayside wind still gets under your skin, but it also cools you down on hot days. Not that you need it. You were born in Anazot, in the very southernmost part of the Empire, and the hot season in the capital is nothing compared to the real heat of Magra.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah. You recall all the hot days in the garden, sitting with Father and talking about the lots, about your future in the capital. He used to look at you with such pride. He was so confident you would follow in his footsteps. A chilling gust of wind snaps you out of it. Enough nostalgia. It's time to face the future you have chosen for yourself.
Good day, Raiders. We're a rebel.
We are.
We live in a basement flat now with, like, all of our other rebel friends.
Yeah, there's like 45 of us.
Just kind of squatting in one room.
It's kind of like Project Mayhem, I guess, in Fight Club. The house where the Lotless live is close to the port. The basement entrance is hard to find, but you eventually locate it. Inside is one large room with bedding and belongings strewn about all over the floor. You find some free space in one of the corners, so you place your bedding and your things nearby. Then you take a good look around. There is only a handful of people in the building. You introduce yourselves to them. Yourselves. They show you the utilities, a small kitchen and a room with a stove and several buckets of water. If you need more water, the river is right nearby.
Domestic river.
Soupy. You ask them how long they have lived here. About 8 months, one of the Lotless tells you. They look over the basement back when they took over this basement back when they only had 10 members. Most of them were more or less homeless, disowned by their families, expelled from the college, academy, or seminary. Sophia found a place where they could live together. Everyone sleeps in the basement and meets in the abandoned house above. Sophia certainly is thoughtful, you intone. That she is, well, your fellow Lotless says, nodding. She takes good care of us, but she's also really secretive and demands that we follow her orders to the letter. Even after all those months, nobody knows where she lives. She only shows herself when she deems it necessary. Soon you come to know the Lotless better, and you see that they truly believe in what they are doing. At present, they are trying to expand their ranks and convince the common folk that the present order in the Empire can and must be fought. You can do this. You have to believe you can do this. And you have to do whatever Sophia says. This is normal. Some of the students you rescued are also here. With their arrival, the ranks of the Lotless practically doubled. The events at the college turned them against the current system. They are eager to act, and so are you. Sophia meets with every newcomer in private. It takes a few days before she finally speaks to you, too. Sophia is sitting at a desk behind a pile of papers. She looks worn out, but she still smiles at you. Hi. There's a reason I wanted to talk to you last. Our ranks are growing, but not everyone is as smart and learned and cunning as you. I need results, and I expect to get them from you. We have to tell the common folk the truth about what happened at the college. It doesn't matter how we do it. The Lotless will never forget, and we will never forgive the nobles for what they did. We have to tell people we exist, and we have to recruit new members. I know you can think of a way to do both. I expect a report in 1 week at our next meeting. Good luck.
Bake sale.
Rummage sale. Yeah.
It's how you get to the community. Yeah.
Yep.
Car wash?
Car wash. Car wash.
Car wash.
Get that chat member some fresh bedding. You get a raise. Sophia stops talking and looks at you. You nod. There's something else you want to tell her, but you have no plan just yet, and it seems she has no time for small talk. You leave the meeting room. What will you do now? How can you tell people about the Lotless without everyone getting arrested? The best place to do this would be somewhere on the outskirts of the city, in the markets and taverns where commoners tend to gather. You spend the rest of the day strolling through the city streets. After a night of pondering, you have 3 ideas. The first idea is the safest. Print a lot of leaflets and spread them across all Eterna. Tiny papers are easy to hand out, and all it takes is a few printed words that hit home. And a printing press. Can you even find a print shop that will support your cause? Plan number 2. Talk about the Lotless to anyone willing to lend an ear. This is a more reliable option. After all, people tend to believe other people more than words on paper. It's more dangerous, too. It's easier to arrest an orator than an author, and your numbers are too few as it is. And then there's plan number 3. The city is still abuzz with what happened at the college. Somewhere out on those frantic streets are people willing to heed your call. Instead of wasting time and effort telling everyone about the Lotless, perhaps you should focus on recruiting.
Oh. Oh, willpower.
Yeah.
Oh. No willpower cost. Increased to one of our top skills.
Yeah. This increases one of our decent skills and one of our bad skills. But this improves 2 of our good ones. Yeah, I think print leaflets. Let's start off.
Okay, what is Billiam's author name? Is it just gonna be BB?
Willie B.
Billy Brante.
We take our first initial and then the second syllable of our last name, so we become Brant. It's flawless. Nobody's gonna see it coming. Out of curiosity. Oh, this is just additional willpower.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like a version of this game you can play that's just like negative willpower all the time. You're just like
exhausted,
just
constantly
so
exhausted.
Tired.
I mean, the only concern here is that this is clearly like somebody with a print shop is going to like narc on us
Oh
hard.
yeah. Like, what do you think this is? Bridgerton?
I mean, or no, let's up our skills. Let's up our skills.
Let's up our skills and not incur any costs.
Yes, this one is free.
This one's free.
Printing leaflets is the safest way to go. They will tell everyone the truth about the events in the college and you will stay safe all the while. Now to find a place to print them. Your newfound comrades, give the name of the editor of a local newspaper called Imperial Sunrise. He sympathizes with the Lawless. He even gave Sophia shelter in their attic once during a raid. It's time to write the text that will be printed. The Arcanians consider us dirt beneath their horses' hooves. They will do anything to bring us down and stay in power. Do you know what happened at the college? Did you hear Archduke Monroe mocking humans and threatening to kill anyone who entered the college? We did. Did you see him ready to kill innocent students inside the college before they were rescued? We did. Arcanians think they can do whatever they want. Will you keep living on under their thumb, or are you ready to make a change? This looks good. Sophia takes a look at Nods too. She writes a brief note on a piece of paper and tells you to head for the editor's house. Give the note to the servant and everything will be ready.
Copywriting is my passion.
The editor lives in a wealthy neighborhood. There are planters with flowers in them at every door on his street. The door knocker shines in the sun like a mirror. You glimpse your reflection in the metal before you grab it. A servant opens the door. He glances at the note and asks for the text to be printed. It will be ready in a week, he says, and then the door is locked again. You return 1 week later and receive a big stack of leaflets. You divide them among the Lawless. It only takes a single day to distribute them all. Rumors quickly fill the streets of Eterna. On the following day, you already hear people talking. The nobles have done it this time. We'd better do something. It's time for a change. The next time you meet Sophia, she rewards you with restrained praise. Yes. Yeah. Well done, Billiam. I expected nothing less from you. I'm glad to have you among us. Yes.
Oh, we 18 now. Time for drugs.
Yeah. You have lived another year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the Trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are all accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. The accused spoke in favor of reducing the power of the nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There was no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It is a show of power made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. You attend one of these sessions. The 50 face their verdict: forced labor in the mines of Magra and Illyria for regular members, and true death for their leaders, 6 men and 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in the central square of Eterna. You remember the woman. Her name was Annie Siren. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain with long bangs over her eyes. She looks calm even at this moment. You cannot believe she is about to leave this world forever. Annie Siren takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but you are close enough to hear every single word. She says she is happy to give her lives fighting for the rights of the people. Her cause will never die, Annie claims. Others like her will continue their work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. She is dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten a noose around her neck. A hand yanks on the lever and the 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. The ranks of the Lawless are growing steadily by now. It's getting harder and harder to breathe in your makeshift meeting hall. People are coming in from all across Eterna. Most of them are commoners, laborers, craftsmen, eager students, and all of them feel that the social order based on the lots is out of date. They are always discussing this, both at the major meetings and one-on-one. How can you change society without taking up arms? How can you defend those who suffer at the nobles' hands? You write several articles for a newspaper that is sympathetic to your cause. You cover the pages of the Imperial Sunrise with your freedom-loving ideas, but before your words reach the printed page, you let Sophia read them. I like your articles. They really sting. They burn with genuine fervor and true audacity. And, most importantly, you've been calling for action more and more. Our cause is just, and I know it well, But your words light a fire in men's hearts. They bring hope for a change. I'd never be able to do this without you, Brante. It's time for another meeting of the lawless. Sophia calms the crowd before she begins. My friends, it's time for us to act. We are strong. We are united. We are many.
Our cause is just.
Her words are met with cries of support, and your voice joins them.
Woo!
Sophia smiles, but there's still a hard, controlled edge in her eyes.
Our cause!
1 month from now, the Empire will hold the ritual of purification in St. Ignatius Square. Mages and witches who refuse to repent and wear collars will be murdered in a public execution. The church is preparing carefully for this, but these witches never asked for this. They were branded at birth. Our lot is to suffer, but theirs is something far worse. The Inquisition's collar takes away everything. Your family, your estate, your free, your will. A mage becomes a weapon for the Inquisition. They are stripped of their lot and placed in this world. Mages are the true lotless. A witch's collar is the worst prison of all. We must set them free. Their freedom will mark the beginning of freedom for the entire empire. The cries of approval die down, replaced by a growing mumble of confusion. Nobody in the room wants to openly defy the Inquisition. Sophia raises her hand, her eyes glinting in the reflected golden candlelight. The room falls silent. We are not going to wage war against the Inquisition. What we are going to do is hold a march to support the mages. This is going to work. This is 100% going to work.
We gave them a support parade, and everyone loved it, and no one at the parade died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be our statement. We will seek the support of Patriarch Junius Diamond. He says that those who wield magic have the same rights as anyone else in the Empire. He seeks to give mages the freedom to find their own way to the twins. We are going to show the Patriarch that we have heard his words and are ready to openly heed his call. I am a mage myself. He took off my collar and allowed me to choose my own path. I'm going to give every mage and witch the same chance. Nobody ever chooses to be born with magic, but mages have the right to choose to abandon their power and follow the twins. Our cause is just. Just what? Just what? It's
just what I say it is.
Sophia lets the others speak their mind. Some fully support the march. Others hesitate, unsure of what to do. There's also a small group of people who reject the idea outright. Magic is evil, they say. Witches are dangerous. Supporting the witches means defying the twins. Sophia leans over them. Angry sparks dance in her eyes. I am a witch, and yet you followed me. You chose to trust me. There's no time left for doubt. If you are not ready to walk this road, it would be best for you to leave the lotless right away. Several people leave the hall, some of them ashamed, others grim. They all get a parting message from Sophia. Her cry rings through the basement and out onto the street. You will tell them nothing. Everyone else grows quiet. This is the first time anyone has seen the leader of the lotless shout like that. Sophia drops back into her chair and asks everyone except for you and 3 others to leave. You know these 3 lotless. Sophia uses them for special assignments. You get ready to hear what she has to say. The goal of our march is to get Junius Diamond's attention. We need his patronage. It is essential that he hear about us and support our movement. Without his aid and influence, our fight is doomed. With that, Sophia starts giving orders. She sends a young man to get collars, tells a lively girl to gather people and prepare banners, and instructs a lean Legion soldier to plan out the shortest route and the best location to begin the march. Then Sophia dismisses them. It is only the 2 of you now. The basement room you use as a meeting hall grows empty and quiet, and you finally notice how tiny and exhausted Sophia looks. Dark rings encircle her eyes, and her skin is as gray as parchment. She works so hard for your sake. After a moment of quiet, Sophia speaks to you about the Imperial Legion. I don't want to scare the others too soon, but I think you know what I'm going to say. If they have trained legionnaires guarding the square instead of prefecture gendarme, the soldiers won't stand on ceremony. Some people might die during this march. You spend half the night planning escape routes in case you have to run for your lives. By the time the plan is finally ready, both of you are on the verge of nodding off. There's one more thing Sophia wants to discuss, however. Many people have joined the lotless over the past few weeks, but we still don't have enough members. We need to attract other people on the streets in order to make our march stronger. People need to see that we aren't just misfits. Sophia has 2 ideas for attracting more people to the march, but you only have enough time to implement one of them. You could call upon the commoners who support the doctrine of Patriarch Photis to join the march. Plenty of people in Eterna had to suffer at the hands of the Inquisition back when the new faith first emerged. Those who rejected the laws were treated like heretics and punished accordingly. Alternatively, you could seek support from the clergy and the nobles. Even among them, many have friends and relatives who have suffered at the hands of the Inquisition. Sophia looks up from her papers. The circles around her eyes are even darker now. She is barely reacting to the world around her. She is but a shadow of the confident young leader of the Lawless you saw speak at the meeting. She lights her pipe and throws herself back into her chair, her eyes half-lidded, looking utterly exhausted. It seems this decision is yours.
Let's show Sophia your support. What's that involve?
I don't know. Maybe we feed her soup.
Oh, like a thick broth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what if we tied all of our crap to religion? Or the people that we are against? What if we recruited the people we think are shit to help us do the thing, our cause, the Lawless cause, the Free the Witches, which was our whole plan the whole time. What if we brought in religion or wealth?
I mean, I think if we mobilize the commoners, we'll get more people, but the guards will just kill them.
Oh, yes.
But if we mobilize the nobles and the clergy, they'll probably still kill them, but there will be consequences.
Yeah. Or we show Sophia our support, and magic saves the day, and we get some willpower.
Actually, magic saves the day is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we help her recover her spells. Oh, this is a long rest.
Yeah, we just give her a long rest. And we rub her feet.
Sophia smokes her pipe, sending rings of smoke flying through the air, thinking. You look around and notice a half-empty bottle of wine, likely left behind by one of the Lawless. It doesn't take too long to find a somewhat clean mug and pour some wine in it for Sophia. Then you find another and pour some for yourself. Sophia glances at the mug of wine on the table, then at you. A little smile appears on her face, almost imperceptibly. For one brief second, she is the same girl from Anazot you used to know, but with the sun shining in her eyes. But her smile almost immediately gives way to grief. She takes a sip of the wine and winces. You try yours. This wine has gone sour. Thanks, that was... that was your best. I'm glad you're here. Every day I realize more and more that I made the right choice. I'd never be able to do this without you. She takes another sip, looking more and more relaxed now. You say that you're also happy to be one of the Lawless. Going against your parents' wishes to find your own way was the right decision. Sophia lets herself assume a slightly more comfortable pose in the chair and smile a little bit more. You could have been whatever you wanted, but you chose to join us. That's brave, if I do say so. We'd be enemies right now had you followed in your father's footsteps. Her face grows grim. Those who take by force and oppress, should extort us, should never rule. We shouldn't be the ones suffering because of them. It's all wrong, I still have nightmares about it. Sophia's voice trails off suddenly, and you understand what she is talking about. Distant memories flash before your eyes, the street shaking under the thundering hooves, screams and cries, dogs barking, the arrogant Archnean barking orders, specks of gold. Excuse me. You look away, burning with guilt. Sophia laughs ever so quietly. Don't blame yourself for that. It's the world, not you. Sophia leans in closer, so close you can smell tobacco and wine. Her face is so near, and her lips are right by your ear. And we have to change it.
This is what they mean by getting turned. Because the wine is turned, and then you drink it, and then everything comes out.
Yep. She leans back and downs her wine. It's late. Get yourself some sleep. I'll finish this on my own. The two of you go outside and say goodnight. You watch her walk away, wondering if she really is as strong as she looks or just really good at playing the part.
It wasn't really clear why we felt guilty after she didn't get hit by a horse carriage.
Yeah.
It just happened. And now we're full of power.
Full of power.
Our battery is half full. Therefore full.
Should we take a break?
Sure.
Okay, before the next plot development.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll be back in a few short minutes, chat. See you shortly. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talking Simulator. We are playing The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante.
And we just showed our support to our friend Sophia by giving her a bad drink. And then, just being there for her.
Yeah. Hopefully that allowed her to get enough XP to buy another level of Wizard. Instead of recruiting more people for the massacre that's coming up. The celebration day comes and Eterna is abuzz. A festive procession starts on the streets. Students from the college and cadets from the military academy march in front, lined up in columns, and other citizens follow suit. You join the parade around the tail of the procession. Before long, it reaches the square in front of the Emperor's palace. The ruling dynasty of Tempests observes the parade from the palace balcony. They are joined by the Empire's highest dignitaries and province overseers. For the first time in your life, you see Emperor Uther II with your own eyes, there, high up above. The columns of college students and academy cadets come to a halt at the balcony and salute the Emperor with their mottos. The Emperor raises his hand in a gesture of benevolent greeting. Then his voice echoes across the square. You can hear him easily, even from so far away. I accept your gratitude, my loyal subjects. Take pride as you wield your knowledge and valor in service of the Empire. All who are worthy will be ennobled by the mantle, by my grace. The nobles-to-be cheer the Emperor's words, but then Archduke Monroe steps onto the balcony and their jubilation gives rise to murmurs of discontent. Everyone here remembers all too well how the ruler of Monia tried to shut down the college by force. Still, the Archduke is the de facto leader of the Arcanian gentry. He is a force to be reckoned with, even for the Emperor. Hail your Emperor, common folk! Be ever obedient and grateful for the good graces you do not deserve by birth. But then everyone grows silent. I guess he lost the crowd?
Yeah.
A young, slender Arcanian with a shy smile comes forth. There are whispers in the crowd. That's Prince Jarian, heir to the throne, student of Cornelius, promise and the hope of the common estate. To the left is Jarian, and to the left of Jarian is his younger brother, Flavius.
Flavius Flav.
Flavius Flav. He is baffled at the sight of the parade below, too young to process what he is seeing. May the twins be kind to you, my future subjects. I promise to repay you in kind and help you prosper in your loyal service to the Empire. Exalted by these words, the nobles-to-be roar as one. All hail Prince Jarian. Another figure steps into view next to the heir. He is an Arcanian, elegantly dressed, and his mantle bears the Tempest colors. He raises his arms, about to make a speech. Long live Prince Jarian, students of the college, cadets of the academy, time and again you have proven yourselves the Empire by word and deed. Today is a day of great celebration, and in honor of Prince Jarian, you must ask the Emperor to guarantee forever the right of distinguished common folk to be ennobled by the mantle. So, ask. The cadets and students freeze in hesitation. They exchange glances, unsure whether to follow the words of the Emperor's own brother. On the balcony high above, Prince Jarian also remains still, listening to every reaction from the crowd. Archduke Monroe briskly steps into view once more. He takes several seconds to observe the crowd before he speaks. Imperial subjects, what the Emperor's brother wishes to say is that you must always remember that you owe your status to the Tempest dynasty. The Emperor accepts your gratitude and sends you off with his blessing. You may leave now. Commotion and murmurs spreads over the crowd as some of the nobles-to-be refuse to follow Archduke Monroe's order. There are shouts heard here and there. The law! We ask for the law! The academy officers and teachers of the college urge them to fall in line and resume the parade, but the tension is rising. The crowd slowly grows enraged and unruly. An Imperial Guard cavalry regiment emerges from the palace. They start slowly advancing on the crowd, hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. The commoners are now running left and right. You too have to move away. This quickly quells the commotion in the square and the cavalry withdraw. Emperor Uthu II appears on the balcony again. Archduke Monroe stands by his side. The squares fall silent at the sight of the sovereign. My subjects, I can see how overjoyed you are for Prince Jerian, but your show of reverence and gratitude was clear enough. Now obey my will, continue the parade, and sing the praises of the Tempest dynasty that has given you so much. The square obediently lines up in columns once again. The bouts of defiance is in the past now, and they resume the festive parade through the city streets. Glory to Emperor Uther. Glory to Prince Jerian.
The crowd was just feeling a little peaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are days when you receive letters from home. Father's writing is very reserved. He mostly discusses events and works in Magra and writes very little about the family. It makes me proud that I have managed to teach Stefan how to handle our affairs at home. Your older brother behaves impeccably at the society balls and receptions that we host. He has already made several crucial acquaintances. But Gloria has a different opinion of Stefan. She thinks your older brother is taking more and more after grandfather. Stefan is a lot like grandfather. It's in his manners, his posture, his voice. He even dresses just like him. He used to be aloof around me and we barely talked in the past, but now he always blames me and tears me apart. I can't take it anymore. He walks all over me all the time and treats me like a housemaid. Mother writes to you. From her letters you learn that Nathan has just barely managed to graduate from school. It makes me sad to admit that Nathan has none of the talents you have. The other day he told me that he won't even try to study in the capital. He says he won't be able to pass the exams. I find solace only in the nights Nathan and I spend together reading the scriptures and our walks to the church by the silver tree. He accompanies me every time. Your sister and younger brother write about Mother too, and they say the same thing about her health. She now spends more time locked away in her chambers to brood. Gloria does her best to accompany Mother when she leaves home, and Nathan's letters mention her steps echoing in the halls in the middle of the night. There is one more thing Nathan mentions in her letters. Stefan and Gloria have been fighting very often these days. Stefan always tries to get under Gloria's skin, and she answers him in kind. Then Stephen calls her a lowly commoner to make her shut up. You always tremble in excitement each time you see a new letter with the seal of your home province. Your fate is still bound tightly to your families, no matter the distance between you.
I'm so excited to receive these letters from home about how everything's going so well.
Yeah, everybody's so happy.
Oh.
So happy. Wait, why did...
Just because, we're not there.
Right. This is the morning you have all been preparing for. One of the houses in downtown Eterna is packed with a crowd of people. Everybody puts collars on their necks. There are not enough for everyone, so the rest of them cover their heads with scarves and belts and anything that looks dark against the skin. There are so many faces, even faces you have never seen before. People of all estates have come here today. You flow out into the street. People keep coming to join the crowd even as you start walking. There are shouts in the crowd now. Our cause is just! Our cause is just! Just. These words fill you with confidence, help you remain composed. Everyone is smiling. You march in the front now. The feeling is indescribable. Change is coming. For sure. The square is already covered with stacks of firewood for the pyres. You see people in collars tied to wooden stakes with inquisitors busy around them. The fiery execution is almost ready to begin. Your path is blocked. Imperial Legion soldiers stand guard on all streets leading to the square. The crowd keeps pushing. There are cries on the streets now. Mages and witches are children of the gods. Give the witches back their lives. Down with the shackles of the lots. The cries of the lotless fill St. Ignatius Square. A legionnaire yells over the mob and orders you to stand aside before they draw their swords. And then you hear a scream right next to you. We've got them outnumbered! We're going through them! Her voice rings in your head and fills you with fury and faith in victory, and you run straight at a legionnaire's sharp sword. But suddenly a hand catches you and pulls you back. You see Sophia now, her eyes burning with golden light. The ecstatic, furious mob flows around her and toward the unnerved legionnaire. Sophia's face looks inhuman now, her grin predatory. The legionnaire swings his sword at the maddened mob, but he is quickly knocked off his feet. His fellow soldiers guarding the square lock their shields together and draw their swords. There is a look of bewilderment in the Inquisitor's eyes. It seems none of them expected such frenzy. Sophia leads the attack. Set the sufferers free. Junius Diamond is on our side. The twins are our shield. The idea of a peaceful march is now thrown to the wind. Sophia is about to send the Lotless against the lines of legionnaires. Only seconds, moments are left until they strike. You have to be there in the front lines, or will you try to stop her and avoid further bloodshed? There is still time. Or will you execute the plan yourself and free the captives from the funeral pyres on your own?
I say we free the captives.
Yeah.
Sophia can do her own thing with her whole magic manipulation of people's emotions and thoughts, you know.
Wait, who's Alis?
We'll find out.
I guess so. Yeah, this seems fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Actually, what was the requirement for the other one? Oh. Yeah, no, this is better. The Lotless trample the legionnaires. The Inquisition tries to stop those who make it past the shield-bearing soldiers. Your eyes catch an unguarded opening leading straight to the square. You run away from Sophia and through the crowd, then squeeze through the opening and head for the pyres. The Inquisitors are too busy binding the fleeing Lotless with their wondrous power of the younger twin. No one is watching the pyres. You turn over a barrel, flooding the square behind the Inquisitors with tar and set it on fire. They are now trapped with the mob. You start acting quickly, cutting the ropes that bind the mages to the stakes. An old man with a horrifying facial scar screams when you accidentally cut him, but you have no time to be careful. Their freedom comes first. The last mage you free is a girl with golden hair. She must have been a beauty in the past, but her body is beaten and bruised, and she is frightened and confused like all the other mages. Then suddenly you notice a young woman in an Inquisitor's cassock. You are moments away from assaulting her until you see that she is helping the girl with the golden hair off the pyre. Did you just hear her apologize? The Inquisitor looks at you next. Thank you.
Later, Jean.
Sup? You push the freed mages towards the mob, yelling instructions into each ear. They have to scatter, they have to run. Run away from Eterna as fast and far away as possible. The mages mix with the collared crowd. All you can do now is hope they will find a way out. Reaching Sophia in this chaos takes an eternity. You grab her hand, shout that the mages are free, and drag her away from the bloodshed. Then you run together until the screams in the square can no longer be heard. That's far enough, Brant. We need to split up. We're too suspicious, and let's take off these collars. We don't need them anymore. I don't know. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
You need to lay low, at least for several days. Don't go back to our house. I get the feeling there's a shakedown coming. A lot of us are going to get arrested, I'm afraid, but it was all worth it. I'm just glad it ended so quickly. You nod and turn away, ready to flee, but before you do, Sophia grabs you by the arm one more time. Was that all you? Did you set them free all by yourself? You nod. Sophia's eyes glow with awe. You find a flophouse on a nearby street and rent a dirty cubbyhole of a room, no questions asked. You pay for a few days at once. It's a good thing you kept your money on you today. Then you walk upstairs to the room and collapse onto the bed.
You went to a riot with all your money?
Maybe we're gonna hit a drive-thru on the way. There is no news about the Lotless. It is as though none of it ever happened. You go to St. Ignatius Square only 3 weeks later. The cobblestones are covered with soot and you see spots of dried blood. In the bushes nearby, you find several broken collars. Our cause just...
3 weeks later, there's still blood and collars everywhere.
Yeah.
Nothing happened here. People must not go to that square that often.
Yeah. The march in the defense of the witches ended in chaos and carnage in the streets of Eterna.
No, I think we won.
Yeah, I believe we won.
Yeah.
It's like when I extract an ingrown hair and get an enormous scar. Mm-hmm. I have won.
Yeah.
You save the enigmatic singer known as the Golden Voice from an untimely... Oh, her! Right, yeah. Two major events take place while you are busy living your life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the great chancellor of the empire. He has been ousted and sent back to his province. His replacement is the Archduke of Monia, Agarius Monroe, the same Monroe who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm has finally convinced the emperor that his brother Cornelius was giving too much freedom to the lowborn. Now the policies of the empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new great chancellor will destroy the imperial code of laws and other achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say the new great chancellor is going to revoke the rights of the common law to be ennobled by the mantle. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, has a new overseer, Gaius Tempest, the older brother of Emperor Uther II. Usually, the overseer of a province is its archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor's will to the locals. Yet now this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Milanitis is absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former Great Chancellor Cornelius Tempest. The nobles at the emperor's court say that this is a stratagem by the Archnean gentry, who want Gaius removed from court affairs along with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Milanitis will be at each other's throats over the province. This does not bear well for their future. Only one thing is clear. Magra, your home province, is about to face great changes.
It's okay, we just keep our family over there. It's fine.
Our family is
basically untouchable.
Yeah, they're nobles. Our father's a judge. Weeks pass, then months, and not a word from the lawless. You have to resort to odd jobs to survive. How much longer will you have to wait? Your hope of seeing the lawless return wane more and more with each passing day. You still recall the loss and bloodshed of St. Ignatius Square with pain. What happened to the others? How many of you managed to get away? And more importantly, what happened to Sophia? More days pass. You hear nothing. You keep returning to the same familiar city streets, glancing at the walls and windows, waiting anxiously for a sign or a familiar face. Then one day, you finally see a sign, a yellow towel hanging outside the Widow Meyer's window. That means tonight. You return to the basement. Only a few people are there. You look into their faces. There are fewer of you now. Some of the lawless could not bring themselves to come, and others died back in the square. Sophia sits at the opposite side of the room, like an actor on a stage, her pipe in her hand. A golden ray of sunset has just reached through the basement window to glint in her hair. People are sitting at the benches or leaning against the wall. You sit where you normally do, in the front row, almost in the middle. There are voices, and there are questions. Why did our meeting stop? Where has Sophia been this whole time? What do we do now? Sophia stands up and looks straight at you, a golden light shining in her eyes. I want to ask you all for one last favor. Please, for your own sake, don't do anything foolish. The golden light in Sophia's eyes comes alive and flies through the hall, enveloping the others in a viscous warmth. Your eyelids grow heavy, your mind becomes tangled and slow to react. You can barely stand and your legs feel like they're made out of rubber. The people in the front rows slump to the floor. There are cries of surprise and confusion from the back rows. Then you hear heavy, stomping steps. Armed knights clad in black armor enter the basement. The lawless at the door draw their weapons and are killed instantly. A voice full of steel rings through the room. In the name of Emperor Uther II, you are all under arrest. Your heart is racing, but the rays of sunlight will not release you from this stupor. You can do nothing but watch as your united brotherhood perishes. This feels like a nightmare. Some run for the tiny windows. Others get down on their knees and surrender immediately. Others stand or sit still, unsure of what to do. Your former unity is shattered. People you used to call friends and allies now kneel in submission, and those who do not kneel are quickly cut down. There are screams and flashes of steel, and then a merciless cry, surrender or face execution. Sophia is no longer glowing. Her eyelids are red. She tries to maintain her composure, but you can see her lower lip trembling. Your eyes meet, and she looks away. Sophia, but how? Why?
Our cause was just.
Our cause was just betrayed by its leader.
The person who made our cause.
Everything ends as quickly as it began. Most of you are arrested. Many are killed. Everyone bound by Sophia's spell is swiftly bound at the wrists and placed against the wall. You know most of you would rather die fighting, and you would if you were not bound and gagged by magic. They took your choice away from you. These people are well armed, well trained, but you see no signs of their armor. They are not the Legion, nor the Prefecture, nor the Inquisition. Your worst fear has come true. These are the soldiers from the secret chancellery. Your body is bound by magic, so strong you cannot even twitch. You are trapped along with the rest of the Lawless. There is no escape. Your eyes close. You have to muster all your willpower to drive slumber away. Do you have enough willpower to break Sophia's spell, even for a moment? And even if it do, will it help you resist?
I mean, it's inevitable. Why not just fall asleep?
But what if...
Head to head in a battle of mind.
Yeah, she betrayed us.
She did.
Out of options, you muster all your will in an attempt to break free from the binding spell. Your voice cuts through the screams and the chaos of the basement room. You scream and scream for your fellow Lotless to fight into the end. Sophia's a traitor. One day you will get her, and then she will pay. Your call inspires some of the Lotless to break free from the spell for a few precious moments. They knock down one of the black-clad mercenaries. Another man lunges at Sophia with his bare hands, ready to choke her to death. But one of the men in black armor immediately jumps to protect her and greets the unarmed man with his sword. The same bloody fate awaits the others who try to fight. One of the mercenaries slowly walks towards you and kicks you in the gut. You collapse, gasping for air, bound by the spell again. Sophia leans over you, shaking her head slowly and mournfully. What have you done, you fool? I told you not to do anything foolish. This will only get you hurt. Sophia walks away and the knights in black surround you. They tie you up, tightening the knots around your wrists so hard your fingers turn white, then kick you in the gut again for good measure. You are dragged out roughly and thrown into a windowless wagon along with the other Lotless. You got some splaining to do. Soon the wagon shifts, then starts moving. You are being taken somewhere.
But all we did was write some leaflets.
That's hearsay.
All we did was walk into this basement room.
We heard a commotion and we went inside. Anything else is hearsay. The secret society of the Lotless was struck down by the secret chancellery. Many of the conspirators were captured. Days are followed by nights. Nights are followed by new days. You can only tell because of the light coming through the tiny window near the ceiling. You have spent several months in this cramped cell. It is 5 steps long, 2 steps wide. These walls felt oppressive during your first weeks, but people can get used to anything eventually. They feed you twice a day. They do not answer any questions. They take away the food if you scream too loudly. You think of your family often. How would they react if they heard you were facing execution for being part of an underground movement? Mother would die from grief. Execution always brings true death. Father's hair would turn white. Gloria would cry. Stefan would rage. And Nathan would become even more isolated. And then there's the boy.
Nathan would just suck more.
Sophia, how could she do such a thing? She said the Lotless were her family. She insisted so much on freeing the innocent mages. She urged you to support Patriarch Junius and the new faith. Sophia said all that, and then she stood there and watched her fellow Lotless get killed and arrested. Their lives lost, years of work undone and destroyed. Driven mad with rage, you punch the stone wall. Blood spatters from your knuckles. It grows dark again. The lock on the door squeaks and the cell opens. They carry you out by the arms, but you no longer resist. You are sick of this. It's no use anymore. They seat you in the interrogation room. There is a man sitting across from you. Plain but well-tailored jacket, pale face with chiseled features, thick black mustache, black eyes watching your every move from their deep sockets. When did the secret chancellery first start watching? When did you all become pawns in their game? The nobleman keeps studying you with utter disdain. Even grandfather never looked at you with such scorn. He wears a pendant in the shape of a wheel. His gloved hands rest atop a table with a walking stick leaning against it. Behind him stands Sophia, her head down. I am Baron Philippe El Ferro, advisor to the Secret Chancellery, but I have a dislike for titles. Call me Sir Philippe, that will suffice. I know everything about you, young Brante. Your father and grandfather are loyal servants of the Empire. Your brother is a noble by birth. Where did your life take such a turn? How did you stoop so low? The advisor to the Secret Chancellery shakes his head, presenting you with a clearly false smile of sympathy. You feel like a student in front of a strict teacher, but you will not leave this room with a mere flogging. You young people, you don't even realize what you're doing. Openly defying the church and its teaching, openly speaking out against the law. And when Junius Diamond gives you the order, you wreak havoc in the capital, assault priests and free apostate witches sentenced to execution. Isn't that right, Sophia?
Yes, Sir Philippe. It all happened exactly as you said.
You shiver with disbelief. There was no order from Junius Diamond. This is not true. It never happened. You look at Sophia, but she will not look at you. Her eyes are only on Baron El Ferro, and he looks at you with a fatherly smile and a ruthless gaze. You are trapped. Now his words will be the truth, and nobody will ever believe anything you say. If only I could be like you, young Brante, a mere boy who thinks he can change the Empire all on his own. But I suppose it's a good thing I'm not that naive. Otherwise, I'd be in your shoes right now, and you'd be dealing with someone far worse than me. There are many things in this world that do not sit well with me either, but unlike your youthful rebellion, my goals are quite clear. My wish is to save the Empire, to save it from the likes of you, people who reject tradition and laws given to us by the gods, fools who seek to set the mages free, practitioners of the new faith that is destroying the church from within, even if their leader is a patriarch and an Arcadian from an ancient dynasty. Few know my methods, and that is why they are effective. Thanks to Sophia and this secret society of hers, we have already managed to gather all the dangerous insurgents together and summarily deal with them in one fell swoop. The heretic Junius Diamond is next in line. But that is none of your concern. Let us speak of your fate now. Philippe produces a folder full of notes and puts it on the table in front of you. The folder bears your name. Your hands shake as you flip through the pages.
Oh no, he's got the folder with our name on it.
How you infiltrated the college during the siege. How you helped recruit more people for the Lawless, the articles you wrote for the newspaper, the advice you gave Sophia, your preparations for the March of the Callers. Your life over the past 3 years is laid down on these pages. Just the records of your presence at the Lawless meetings is enough to sentence you to execution, but that is the least of what you have done over these years. Your stomach churns. Do not expect your father's authority as a judge to save you from this, Brante. He is just a second-generation judge. A brief note from me and you will face true death, and then your father and the rest of your peculiar little family as well. What say you? Is there any reason I shouldn't just do that?
Sir Philippe,
He strikes Sophia swiftly and painfully. She doubles over and clutches her stomach, gasping for breath. Slowly, Philippe returns to the walking stick to its previous position. His gaze never leaves you. I don't remember giving you permission to speak, but very well, I grant it now. Speak. Sophia finally catches her breath and leans against the wall. She looks at you for the first time since the interrogation began.
Sir Philippe, Brante grew up in Anazad like me. He is very bright and has proven himself to be quite capable since his very first days with the Lawless. You will find my description of him in my report. He will serve your cause in Magra well.
You do not look at Sophia. Her betrayal is the reason you ended up here, but now she is putting herself at risk to save your life. Philippe stares you down, his chin resting on his fist. Proved himself, you say? Then how about he prove himself to me as well? There are only 2 ways out of this room, Brante. One leads to the gallows, the other makes you my loyal servant. Thank your childhood friend for this mercy. I will give you one chance, and one only, to prove that you are useful to the Secret Chancellery. I'm listening.
I like the wording on that top one.
Yeah, outwit Philippe.
He'll never see it coming. What if we said we do one thing and do a different thing?
This is going to work.
Yeah.
This is going to work. Out of curiosity.
Ooh. Ah.
Deaths +4. We can just choose to die.
Yeah. Go out on our own terms. Execution by the state.
Sure, this is going to work.
This is going to work.
You pull yourself together and start thinking. You have to earn your freedom, and for that you must prove that you can be useful to the city hall. But you cannot betray the lawless who are still free. And so you start talking. You describe everything you have learned over the past 3 years, including your work with the lawless, your recruitment and propaganda efforts, and the public activities you have hosted. Philippe listens carefully to every word you say. You use your cunning to convince him that the lawless pose no threat and have no leadership with Sophia, and you are out of the picture. If you are to believe, the lawless were already on the verge of disbanding. See, this playing both sides always works out great, right? You know, the lawless, the remaining lawless are going to find us when we're asleep, and they're going to put a black bag over our head and take us to a Chuck E. Cheese for a pizza party out of gratitude.
Yep.
Because we spilled our guts to the secret police as far as anyone knows.
And we're working for them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome. Everyone is going to trust us and believe us. Sophia is silent and emotionless as you speak. Nothing in her reacts to your lies. Well then, you're quite self-satisfied, Brante. So you're trying to tell me your entire secret society was held together entirely through your efforts? Granted, you talk far better than those half-literate street rats. One way or another, the lawless will have outlived their usefulness. I have no use for the rest of those pathetic ragamuffins.
Ooh.
Color me impressed, but if you disappoint me, so much the worse for you. Now mark my words. From this moment on, you are my secret servant. This is your only lot in life now, as it were. You will obey me and no one else, and do not even think of mentioning the secret chancellery to anyone. You and Sophia will return to Anazot. Tell everyone you earned a small fortune in the capital or made wealthy friends. You're a slippery young man. Just think of something believable, will you? Once you're there, open a print shop. Don't waste too much time on it. This job will be your cover to keep you looking busy in public. My people will pay you visits from time to time and bring you instructions from me. I have big plans for your desert province.
We're gonna run a magazine?
You will call it Fox News. My every instruction must be carried out immediately. If you ever fail or try to fool me, your family will suffer along with you. Here, this should be enough for the print shop. Now you have something to bring home. With a chuckle, Philippe drops a hefty pouch at your feet. It falls like a rock and makes a sound only gold can make. Before you can say anything, he turns around and leaves. Once you are left alone with Sophia, she finally lets her emotions rise to the surface. Yes, bright Brante. Oh.
Don't you dare call me a traitor. Do you think it was easy for me to watch my friends being killed? Nobody would have left the room alive if it wasn't for me. Yes, I bound everyone I could with my spell, because otherwise you would have died trying to fight back. I hoped I could get everyone out of there alive, but I only got you out.
Uh-huh.
It's a good thing you said what you said. Now Philippe will pay no attention to the lawless. The survivors will continue our work eventually, without us. And as for you and me, Philippe has us on his leash now. We'll have to survive like this. We can't run from him. If I don't do what I'm told, he'll have me collared and sent back to the House of Humility to be an obedient, soulless puppet. But we have each other now. We can do this. Don't lose hope.
A jailer enters the room before you can say anything else. You are led out of the prison and into the yard. You wince at the light of the sun in the shining pillar. A carriage takes you back to the flophouse where you took refuge after the March of the Callers. The driver kindly informs you he has orders to take you back to Anazot in 3 days. You start packing. It all feels like a dream. Everything will happen exactly as Philippe said. You have nowhere to run. If you try to flee, they will find you, and they will find your family first. In the blessed Archnean Empire, there is no way to start over with a clean slate. The twins and the secret chancellery see all. Your months in prison are in the past, but can you truly call yourself free now? You will be going home soon. You rescue the lawless, and the secret society continues its activities in the capital.
And now we're a master manipulator.
We is. And now, we're part of the secret police. That's pretty good.
That's prestigious.
Yeah.
Bet Stefan will be jealous
Yeah.
when we tell him we're a spy now.
Yep.
Print shop's just a cover.
It is. Absolutely. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the street. Junius Diamond, Patriarch of Astinia and one of the leaders of the New Faith, will stand trial before a church tribunal. The Order of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and disseminating heresy.
Wild.
Who could have seen that coming? The Holy Tribunal claims that Junius Diamond was scheming to free all witches and sorcerers from the collars that fed her their accursed powers. And what's worse, the Patriarch was also accused of forming the Lawless, a dangerous secret society based in the imperial capital. Members of this society have been assaulting inquisitors and priests of the church, as well as freeing witches from the cleansing fires and helping them escape the holy law. Now the Patriarch must face the Holy Tribunal of the Inquisition in Eterna. By all accounts, this is a devastating blow to the New Faith and the end of days for Junius Diamond himself. The Inquisition will make the most of this opportunity to rid the land of this unwelcome Patriarch who dared to shake the foundation of the old faith. But then comes the sudden news of Patriarch Junius's reply to the Holy Tribunal. It is no less stunning than the accusation.
These words are nothing but lies. I'll say this to anyone who dares to bring this accusation against me in person, but I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of their responsibility for the slander against me, my flock, the Diamond Dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agreed to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I will face them on my own land and on my own terms. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many priests across Archnia. Parishes of the New Faith throughout the Empire are now speaking out in support of Junius Diamond. The Church of the Twin Gods is about to be rent in twain. Geminis be like that. The Inquisition has no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. Their new official stance is that Patriarch Junius has been wrongfully accused, and the Holy Tribunal will now apply more cautious judgment during any further trials against the followers of the New Faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Photis is no longer seen as heresy by the Inquisition.
Oh.
Sick. The trial of Junius Diamond has been averted, but the divide within the church is only deepening. The New Faith has directly challenged the Old Faith. The result is uncertain, depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Diamond has all but pled guilty. Others believe the Patriarch and the alleged rebellion against the Church, as well as the Inquisition, is nothing but a ruse. There are also people who think the entire situation sounds like one of the secret chancellery's dirty deeds.
Done dirt cheap.
Let's not say anything that might be true here. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astinia and the co-leader of the New Faith remains at his post. But for how long? And how will the Old Faith and the New Faith clash next? Ooh, church score down. I feel like I'm playing a Euro game.
It is a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah. In the case of a tie, the player with the higher score wins. The Reglata and Talrina rivers meet outside the city walls. You have barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face, and the bright noon sun hangs above the shining pillar. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrived here a boy, full of hopes and aspirations, driven by your family's expectations and a desire to live your life as you saw fit. Where did your youthful ambition lead you in the end? Eterna never became your home. To you, it was a place of turmoil and disappointment. You tried to change the course of history, but history broke you in half and threw you away. You were too young and inexperienced. Your entire life was wrecked by a single decision. What future could you possibly have now? All of your hopes are buried here in Eterna, and you must leave the city behind. Your hands clench into fists as you think about it. You will have to live two lives, a public life as the owner of a print shop, and a secret life as a spy for the secret chancellery. This is the only path fate has in store for you now. Mother used to say that the humility and hard work are the strength of the common folk. Each new blow brings less pain and teaches you to get back up more quickly. All you have to do is walk this path without showing weakness. But you strayed from the path of humility and graduated from the school of hard knocks. You learned to lie and manipulate others, to survive and hide and act in secret. As a teacher, Sophia had no equal. But what are you supposed to do now? Will you accept your role in the schemes of the secret chancellery since it means well for the Empire? Or will you have what it takes to find another way and use your new position for schemes of your own? Many things must have changed back at home by now. You recall Gloria particularly fondly, the way she used to rebel all the time and defy her lot to write poems. She always fought hard to be herself, no matter what other people or the law said. Gloria was the only one who supported your decision to find your own path. You want to see her so badly and tell her all the news and share the joy of your return with her. You have to get her a gift from the capital, something that will matter to your sister, and while there is still time, you decide to buy her a book she could never find in Anazon. You start combing through the market. You go to 5 bookstores, but you see nothing suitable. One last shop, and then it is time to leave, you promise yourself. The store is marked by an unremarkable sign on an unremarkable building. You enter a dark room full of bookshelves. On one of these shelves, you see a small book bound in black leather. The name of the author, Chard Melanidas, is stamped in gold. You peek inside. How strange. This is not a biography of the rebellious Duke and his rebellion. It is not even a study of the legacy. It is a book of his poems. You thumb through the pages and realize that Gloria would enjoy this book very much. The poetry of Charmelanidas is about love and struggle and the strength of will and the drive to keep fighting even when all hope is lost. The book costs almost nothing. It leaves the bookstore with you. You leave the capital the morning after. The carriage hired by the secret chancellery awaits you at the door. Eterna, the city where you spent 4 years, slowly disappears on the horizon. Will you ever see the capital again? You do not know. The book, A Gift for Gloria, is in your hands.
We only bought one present.
Yep. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return to your family and new business in your hometown of Anazot. The years away from home were full of tumult and hardship. Your adult shoulders now bear the burden of your first life-changing decisions. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot for yourself, or was it your destiny all along, ever since your childhood years? All you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. The years of your youth are at an... Oh, yes.
Hey!
Yay! This is gonna work great.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Our skills are bad.
Works out just the way we wanted it to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A full adult now, I returned from the capital a changed man. Yet, my hometown was not the same as I had left it. Fate had difficult times in store for all of us.
Yeah, peacetime. It's like Churchill said.
Yeah.
An era of baffling expedients, baffling and comforting expedients, of half measures, and then the speech ends.
Oh, wow. Just thinking of him in his little siren suit down in a subway station eating lobsters and champagne.
Yep. I like, how he had a pinstripe coverall.
Yeah.
Your home, Anazot, is but a few hours away along this road. The carriage is stuffy and hot from the sun, even with the thick blinds pulled tight. It is a familiar heat, but you will now need to get used to it again. The heat weighs heavily on you, but it also reminds you of your childhood. You will see your family again soon. How will they react to you? Will they accept you after you betrayed their hopes and their trust? You are back in your native province. You will be home soon, but you are no longer the boy who took this very road to the capital 4 years ago. But who are you now? A clandestine outlaw? A rebel? Or an agent of the secret chancellery? What future awaits you now? Can you get your freedom back? Can you save everything you hold dear? To drive away the worries about your new life and destiny, you reread Sophia's letter yet again. I'm glad you didn't do anything stupid and chose to seize your chance for freedom, Brant. I'll go to Anazot a week after you. Oh, sorry, I'm not doing the Batman voice.
Both of us coming back at the same time might attract unwanted attention. It's best if nobody even knows we have anything to do with each other. We'll find an excuse for our frequent meetings later. You should go home and reconnect with your family. Don't draw any attention. Keep your head down. Don't leave that old house of yours. When the time comes, I'll find you. Tell everyone you're planning to open a print shop. Find a building to rent for it. Someplace far from prying eyes. It'll be our underground headquarters. I'll tell you more about our mission when we meet. That's all.
You put the letter back in your pocket. The walls of Anazot have finally emerged on the horizon. Before you do anything else, you are going home. You are back in your home province. Okay.
Yeah, let's see what we can possibly do.
Glory to the Empire.
Oh, that's if we become friends with our boss.
Ugh.
So,
We need to get unrest way up.
and discover the secret plot of the mayor.
Yep, and collapse the spy network.
Gotta be friends with some vermin.
Yeah. Rami El Vermin.
I guess he's the magistrate.
Ooh.
Oh.
If we get unrest way up.
And you know, little more personal time with Sophia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Ah. Death? Escape?
Through final death? For me? Shall we take our second break? It's
Let's
a
do
bit
that.
early, but
It's a good stopping point.
yeah, I
before
think
we
this is a natural stopping point.
roll into our 20s.
Yeah. So what we need to do is make friends with Dr. Bashir.
And his husband.
Yes. And his husband's wife. And their surrogate mother. And her I mean, Jadzia and Kira are like dating, and then her husband,
Yeah. Worf.
yeah, her husband Worf.
Yeah.
And then Cisco is just like, everyone but me?
How do you even fit him in?
Yeah, I guess Cisco is their dad, really.
Dad boss?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, this would be inappropriate.
You know what I think? Baseball. Okay.
All right, kids,
all right.
baseball day.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back shortly. See you soon, chat.
Or will we?
Hello, everyone. We're back from our break, and I think we're going to burn this mother down.
Unrest, unrest, unrest.
Let's trash this place. Shall we? Unrest needs to be between 9 and 10.
Yep.
So maxed out, huh?
Uh-huh.
So
But
everything.
we have to grow closer to Sophia.
Yeah.
Mm,
The family falls apart.
no.
But that's maybe the only way that we can protect everyone in the family from the spy master.
But oh right, the Emperor's brother is our
Overseer.
Is taking over where the Archduke was.
Yeah.
Hey, we only need our reputation up.
Yep.
Except for, yeah, we're good. We're good. Things could go really well for us. We don't necessarily need to burn it all down.
It's true.
Oh, our mom can get better. Okay.
Oh. I like that. Hey.
Hey. I'm your mom.
Oh, Gloria can get adopted.
Oh.
Branded by dishonor. Stephen can't be killed in a duel, can't get involved in a secret plot. Gloria can't be in a secret plot, and can't be betrothed.
Yeah.
Family in ruins, or a glorious bloodline.
So, we need money, wealth, reputation, good relationship with our mothers, and our fathers and our sisters.
Yep.
And our secret girlfriend that we work with.
Yeah. And also for us to burn this mother down.
Yeah.
I think we can get there. We're gamers.
We're gamers.
We're
We can
absolutely
max
gamers.
this. Yeah.
We just take we simply make every correct choice. Guns.
Guns. Scheming needs to be high.
Scheming needs to be high. Sophia has the gunpowder. I wonder what that means.
Well, first we need stash of gunpowder,
Yeah.
which is part of. So if there's ever a chance for us to obtain gunpowder,
This is how we become Fox News. FAWKES. This is going to work, and this is going to be awesome.
I don't know. I'm never gonna forgive Kiss for Fox News. It was just too good. It's like a triple entendre. Like,
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Watch Alabaster Kingdom if you like.
Occupation screen is now available. We have a job. Okay, we need to get unrest up to 10.
People
Riots
ready
and
to
mayhem.
struggle, riots and mayhem.
Spy infiltration.
Influence the secret chancellery.
We don't have to be.
We don't have to be good at our job.
Yeah, no. Continue.
All right.
The carriage stops. The familiar gate. Your bedroom window, the same one you used to climb out of at night from time to time. The well-tended garden with its imported soil, delightful greenery, and Mother's beloved violet irises. The porch you used to jump off of when you were little. You are home. You touch the handle of the front door and halt for a moment. It has been 4 years since you left for Eterna, but it feels like yesterday. The air inside is cool as usual. Father cannot stand a stuffy room and insists on constantly airing out the house. Relatable. Inside the house, the first thing you hear is the sound of someone running out of the library. Your sister Gloria appears and immediately throws her arms around you. Her joy is so strong you barely manage to stay on your feet. Gloria is dressed in men's clothing, including culottes, a frock coat, and a necktie with a massive pin. She is almost unrecognizable in her new attire. There are dark circles under her eyes, as though from lack of sleep or frequent tears. Brother, I've been waiting for you for so long. I'm proud to see you've chosen your own path and decided to live the way you want. You're actually going to open up your own print shop? You're going to print books? Even poetry? Speaking of poetry, from the inner pocket of your jacket you produce a small book bound in soft black leather. Gloria gingerly accepts your gift. She notices the author's name, Charmelanidus, on the cover and knits her brow, but after quickly flipping through the pages, she showers you with gratitude. I thought Melanidus was just a warlock. I had no idea he wrote poetry. How fascinating. I'm going to read it all from cover to cover. This is his spell book, isn't it? Mother comes out of the sitting room, leaning on Nathan's arm. You immediately see signs of illness mentioned in the letters from home. Her back is bent, her hair is gray, a thin web of wrinkles covers her face, and her complexion has lost its color. She slowly embraces you. Her arms feel nearly weightless. You press your face into her shoulder, breathing in the nearly forgotten, dearly beloved smell. Mother holds you by the shoulders and studies you for a long time. You've been away so long, son. It's such a shame your journey was in vain. You didn't become a judge, or even a priest. I guess it's your fate to bear your lot until the very end, but you'll endure it. That's how I raised you. to just take a beating.
Hey, son. It's too bad you failed at everything.
Nathan approaches you after Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. God, is that... Why do you look like you smell like pee?
He does!
He looks like he smells like pee. You look like you're 40.
Maybe he has the same illness as Mother.
Nathan approaches you after Mother. Your younger brother is the same height as you now. His hair almost reaches his shoulders, but he still has the same lost look in his eye when he had when he was a boy. It's good to see you, brother. Home just hasn't been the same without you. Who cares about your estate, right? I'm just glad you're here with us again.
Ah!
Jesus, man. Stefan has gains now, I guess. How did his lips become even more punchable? Christ, man, did you get filler? Like, what is up?
Yeah. The Botox makes him stronger.
It does. You pat Nathan on the back. Loud footsteps echo down the stairs. Stefan appears. His shoulders have grown broader and his features have become harsher, just like grandfather's. He stares you and Nathan down with contempt, his arms crossed on his chest. Welcome back, commoner. I'd hope you'd become my equal, but apparently you just didn't have it in you. I guess you're no better than Nathan. I can only hope you'll know your place from now on. Why did Father even send you to the capital in the first place? As Stefan says these words, you see Father appear from his study. He looks older now. His back is hunched and he squints. There are deep lines around his mouth and silver threads in his dark hair and mustache. He stops a few steps away and examines you from head to toe. He does not say a word, shaking his head slowly. You explain yourself to Father. This was the only path you could have taken. The college and the judge's calling were not for you. However, your time in the capital was not spent in vain. You made many influential friends there, and now you plan to open a print shop in Anazot and make a good living. You do your very best to make this sound convincing. No one can ever see through your cover story. When I sent my son to the capital, I expected him to return a nobleman, but the man who stands before me is a commoner, a merchant, an artisan. I had such high hopes for you, but our family's future rests in Stefan's hands now. Oh well, I've had enough time to make my peace with this. You are still a member of this family. We'll see how your shop fares. Perhaps you can still find a way to contribute to the Brante household. He lets out a bitter chuckle. Then after a pause, Father spreads his arms wide to embrace you.
Pat.
You're finally home, my son?
Oh yeah, I do have 3 sons. Yeah.
Well then, time for dinner. Mom, your mother has prepared a veritable feast in your honor. For the first time in years, your entire family shares a meal at the same table.
Okay.
Okay.
So...
We need to increase unrest. Every step needs to increase unrest.
Right. Ooh.
So how's it going, Nathan?
God. Maybe Stefan, so that we can prevent him from dying.
Yeah, we need to talk. We need to make peace with Stefan.
A little bit, just a little bit. Gotta get him to just solidly indifferent.
Yeah.
How's my favorite bro?
How's my favorite older bro?
Yes.
After dinner, you ask Stefan to stay a while. Feeling charitable, he nods at the other armchair by the fireplace. You question your brother exhaustively about the changes that have taken place in your household since you left to pursue an education. Family matters are mostly in my hands now. Father's work as a judge keeps him exceedingly busy, but it's time for the Brants to become nobles of the sword. I'm 3rd generation nobility, which means I can claim a hereditary title for us. I have to socialize, to build our reputation, to secure elite patronage for us. It is a grand cause, and now you share it with me even as a mere commoner. Remember that any action of yours could have an impact on the reputation of the Brante family. Stefan frowns.
The Bramley.
Our family is excessively
atypical. I respect Father's wish to let Lydia's illegitimate daughter stay with us, but there are limits. Gloria is an audacious rebel, and Nathan is a useless good-for-nothing. They do not know their place and often compromise the honor of the Brante family. Don't let me down too, Billiam. The printer's trade is hardly an illustrious one. It literally is!
Hardly.
But it ought to be profitable, I hope. Any money you bring home will help us invest in our family's future. This is the only reason I still have any hope for you. But enough about that. Tell me about your life in the capital. How exactly did destiny abandon you in the common estate? You have to relate the 4 years you spent in Eterna, carefully omitting anything that might reveal your secret mission. Gloria walks by, casting a disappointed glance in your direction, then disappears upstairs. After several days of searching and inquiring, you find a suitable location for the print shop. You choose a 2-story building on a dead-end street away from any pedestrian thoroughfares, right next to the city's outer walls, spacious and sturdy. It has more than enough space for the printing press and workbenches. Are we going to have a secret tunnel through the city's walls? The basement is dry and the windows are too tiny to peek through. It is the perfect location for a clandestine headquarters. You inspect the rooms. This corner will be good for the typesetting area, and the shelves of ink can go over there. Before you finish, Sophia knocks at the door. Once inside, she casts a glance over the rooms and walls and chuckles with approval. This is just what we needed, Brante. A perfect location. I couldn't have found anything better myself. Guess the capital taught you well. I'm glad to see I was right about you. This job will be a lot easier with your help. Sophia brushes a layer of dirt from an old wooden crate, then lights her pipe as she sits. What's with the knife, Sophia? So, how about I tell you what you and I are up to in this town, eh? Remember what we did in the capital? Not really.
I was barely there for any of it.
That was mostly hearsay. I wasn't in any of those rooms.
Well, we're gonna do the same trick here in Anazot.
You mean betray the... Okay.
Yeah.
That's our mission. Philip wants us to found an underground society here. Anybody who wants to rebel and riot, we'll let them join. We'll also keep them in check and use them to do whatever the secret chancellery says. I still don't know everything Philip's planning yet, but I can tell you who's real angry about how the Inquisition cast all the dirt we dug up on Patriarch Junius to the Four Winds. Here in Anazot, Philip wants the real deal.
You frown. Real deal? What does that mean?
It means you and I have to find all the troublemakers in town and take charge of them. Anybody who's willing to fight for their rights and turn them into an organized force under our command. And then we'll use them to do whatever Philip wants. Philip wants to take the city in his own hands. He needs disorder, little disturbances here. Little disturbances and riots. Enough unrest so that there's always an excuse to arrest folks whenever they need to. But Philip always has to be in control. This is the secret chancellery's way. As long as the streets are restless, everybody, especially the overseer, will keep thinking good old Sir Philip El Faro is a real useful friend to have. Saviors of the Empire and all that. Their last bulwark against the rabble-rousers. The more riots and unrest we incite, the stronger our underground force will become, and the stronger the secret chancellery will get. Once the people are shouting in the squares, the prefecture and the magistrate will be powerless, and our buddy Philip will pick up the slack. Are you following so far?
You nod. So you're supposed to incite unrest. Is that all you have to do?
That's just the beginning. Philip also wants the Lesser Quorum broken up at some point in the future. It's full of folks who don't like the way things are done in the Empire. But the Empire's lucky for now. The Lesser Quorum spends too much time bickering and not enough time trying to work together. That'll work in our favor.
Oh, we accidentally turned the unrest all the way up to 10 instead of keeping it at a nice 7. That's where you...
We were told to do it that way.
Yeah, we were told unrest. More unrest, good.
Good. Yep.
So by the time Philip wants to blackmail the Lesser Quorum, we need to have our own underground network, and it's got to be big enough for his needs. We'll frame Quorum members, gather accusations, plant agents, stuff like that. In other words, we'll do the secret chancellery's dirty work for them. Now let's get down to business. Here in Anazot, there's some big shots who are opposing the Imperial Order. We need to do our best to exploit them for our cause. If we're lucky enough, maybe we can even get them on our side.
Sophia starts counting on her fingers.
Number 1 on my list is Augustum Elborn, prefect of Magra. He's almost a relative to you, isn't he? When Gaius Tempest was first appointed overseer of Magra, he was the only member of the provincial council who openly supported him. Elborn is one of the most powerful nobles in Magra, but he's always protected the common folk. He could be our main ally, or a real dangerous enemy. The second fellow worth mentioning is Mayor Egmont, leader of the wealthy commoners in the Lesser Quorum. He's an old merchant who got rich mining silver and managed to weasel his way into provincial politics as a commoner. We need to ensure Egmont's support as soon as possible. He's rich, powerful, and will be useful to our cause. Last on my list is Father Leonard. He's the abbot of the temple by the Silver Tree and the local spiritual leader of the New Believers. Right now, lots of Mogren commoners are rejecting Asatius' teaching of the lots, and it's all thanks to Leonard and his influence. If those folks have managed to cast off one burden, it should be easy to talk them into rejecting another.
Sophia taps her pipe against the crate and knocking the remaining tobacco on the floor.
One more thing, Brant. We're going to be manipulating people. I'm talking lies, half-truths, using and exploiting folks, you name it. And we need to get them to follow us. That's a tough thing to do. People can smell phonies a mile away, so we have to believe everything we say. I mean, really believe it from the bottom of our hearts. If you aren't ready to die for your cause, why expect it from other folks? But you also have to remember who we're really doing this all for. She trails off. You wait a moment, then ask Sophia why she has agreed to do this. Why is she working for Philippe? Can't she run from him or use her magic to subdue him? Sophia's deep eyes focus all their attention on you. The merciless Mogren sun fills the room through the narrow window. Through the narrow window, reflected in her eyes is a multitude of yellow sparks. You think I never tried it, Bran? Don't be naive. Magic will not help me to bring Philip down. When I use my power, you notice it quickly, and Philip notices it even faster. If I ever tried to enchant him again, I'll be collared and sent back to the House of Humility. I'm never going back there again. Not ever. As for escaping, there's no hiding from the secret chancellery. Sooner or later, they will find me. The Empire is absolute. The Empire is eternal. The Empire is everywhere. We're all in the same cage. There's no way out of it. And so it will be for as long as the Empire still stands. So forget about running away. If you want to get out of this alive, just do what I tell you. Trust me and I'll take care of you. Now let's talk about your next step. We need to shore up our cover story. Make sure it doesn't fall apart the first time the gendarme take a close look at it. Get this print shop to work. You'll need employees. You're good at picking the right people, just as good as me, so you'll do the hiring. Choose people who are loyal, people who do the job and keep their mouths shut. When Philip gets here, we'll have to show him what we've accomplished so far, and you don't want to disappoint him. So you better get cracking. We've got a lot of work to do. With that, Sophia nods to you and leaves. You are left alone to pace the rooms of your future print shop and think, what will you do first?
Money, money, money.
Money.
Money, money.
Or
Money, money.
but wealth goes down,
Wealth goes down, but we get profitable business.
which means more wealth.
Money, money.
We're just doing what you told us.
Money, money, money.
We're just doing what, The undercover part of your job can wait. You have to get the print shop up and running first. You will not be satisfied by a mere semblance of business. No, you are going to found a successful shop capable of turning a profit.
She said people could smell phonies.
Oh God, what's that smell? You convince father to contribute a portion of the family's funds to the venture and purchase a printing press, movable type, quality paper, and expensive ink. Then you hire skilled labor, the best printers you can find in Anazot. They will teach...
The smell of revolution.
Ah.
It was not, chat.
It was not... That was fresh tomatoes on sourdough bread. Score. You never... The second sandwich is always free. It is such a pleasure to watch the print shop come to life. You may have begun this undertaking for an entirely different cause, but you now have turned the print shop into something that is yours. The first thing you print is a thick stack of advertising sheets. Soon these black and red leaflets appear on every street corner of Anazot. Brant's print shop is open for business. Revolting indeed.
Can you smell the people belching the belch of angry men?
Thanks to your investment, the print shop becomes much more believable as a front for your undergrad operations and may actually turn a profit sooner or later. Gotta spend money to make money. You come back home after a short stroll through the city. As soon as you set foot in the house, you are greeted by Stefan, who invites you to have a talk in Father's office. When you enter the room, Father has a heap of letters in front of him and is signing them one after another. Son, I am a point. Stefan and I must discuss an important matter with you. While you were in the capital, our family formally petitioned the overseer to grant us the nobility of the sword. We have 3 generations of noble blood already. We have the right to make our nobility hereditary. Her grandfather took the first steps towards the nobility of the sword as soon as Stefan was born, and now we are on the brink of becoming the Brants. If Overseer Gaius Tempest and the nobles of the province deem us worthy, we will receive a hereditary title. All nobles of the Brant family will remain noble forever, as will their descendants. Father and I do our utmost to maintain the family's position, but our goal can be reached only if our reputation remains unblemished in the eyes of high society. The nobility is watching our every step. Father lays a hand on your shoulder. This is your cause too. The future of our family depends on it. We need an estimable reputation and wealth. Everyone bearing the name of Brant affects it. Remember that with every action you take, Billiam. You will have to appear before Anazot High Society. We're going to host a reception for the nobility at our home soon. You must uphold the honor of our family, brother. You'll relate the news from Eterna to our guests and present yourself in favorable light.
I can print the invitations!
With Stefan at the helm, the entire family spends a full week preparing for the majestic reception. The house is flooded with decorations and new tableware. Delicacies are cooking in the kitchen round the clock, and the napkins now bear an embroidered oak branch and chains, the Brant family crest. Gloria is the only one to neglect the common cause. Were it up to me, I wouldn't be seen at this hypocritical gathering, but I don't want to let Sir Robert down. He's the only reason I plan to stay for the event. The evening of the reception has come. Dignified conversations and the clinking of glasses fill the house. Among your guests are many high-born, powerful people. Your father and Stefan dance from guest to guest, making sure no one is overlooked. Young Billiam, how splendid to see you. So, what was your time in the capital like? You exchange pleasantries with a high-placed relative. Meanwhile, Gloria and Mother spend the evening on a settee by the wall without drawing any attention. Neither your father nor your elder brother introduce them to the noble guests. Still, one of the guests, a young nobleman of the sword named Jose El Peltier, keeps staring at Gloria in fascination. Your sister averts her eyes, bemused. Lady Gloria, you are a true gem of the evening. You look so marvelously daring. I haven't seen your like even in the capital. When you walk past Gloria, you hear her hurried whisper. Billiam, please talk to me. This Sir El Peltier keeps following me. I feel uneasy. What does he want from me? I'm just a lowly commoner. Come with me to the other side of the room, although I'll probably still stand out among those refined nobles. Look, it's Durant, the painter. I wonder what's brought him so far from the capital. It'd be fabulous if he could paint our family portrait. We should all be on canvas together. We're one big happy family after all. Wineglass in hand, you cast a look across the crowded room. It is time to choose how you will spend the evening. Well, we didn't do that.
Yep. What tournament? Ooh.
Unity.
Unity. Rep.
We need rep. Rep is good.
Rep and Stefan.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is good. Or rep and unity is good, but I think the hit to wealth is less good.
Yes.
And diplomacy and manipulation are our strong suits. Yeah. Hey, we've just got to be charming. The moment you approach Stefan, he links elbows with you and leads you to the most prestigious place by the table, where the most eminent of the guests are seated.
May I present to you my younger brother, Billiam Brante. He's just returned from the capital. Billiam, why don't you entertain our guests with the latest news from Eterna? Thanks, Stefan. You see, you make a courtly introduction and describe recent noteworthy events in the capital. The celebration of the heir's coming of age, the attempt by Gaius Tempest to enshrine in law the rights of nobles of the mantle, Patriarch Luke's sermon. The nobles inquire about the customs and sentiments of the capital. Is it true that the wealthy commoners of Eterna do not acknowledge the authority of the nobility, or that the adherents of the new faith openly denounce the lots? You describe the state of affairs in the capital in a delicate manner so as not to antagonize your guests. Oh, no, that's... Everyone is very conservative, just like you.
Yep.
In whatever way that you find comforting, that's what it's like there. And if not, I can go back and edit the story. Yes, there are plenty of liberties taken in Eterna, but you can attest to the fact that the Empire still rules with a firm hand. A firm hand. And maintains order. More and more listeners gather around you. They plunge into a heated discussion. Will this wave of change reach our province? What awaits our homeland under the rule of the new overseer Gaius Tempest? The guests agree that the nobles of the province have some tough times ahead of them, but worthy families like the Brantes give them hope. Excellent, brother. You have shown yourself and our family in a favorable light. Moreover, you managed not to distress our guests with alarming news. The night was a success.
A modest position.
Yeah. The Brante family has been uneasy for several months now, with father traveling all over the province for his judicial duties. The animosity between Stefan and Gloria has grown into a full-blown feud. Your elder brother tries to use his position as heir to keep his sister in check and make her behave in accordance with her estate. Gloria repudiates his authority. Their fights rock the house on a daily basis. Eventually, after returning from his latest trip, father gathers Stefan, Gloria, Nathan, and you in his office. His somber look pretends a difficult conversation. Stefan gazes at his father defiantly. Gloria is poised to lash out and run away. Nathan quietly keeps to the side. Children, for a long time now, our family has been striving to become nobles of the sword. Every noble member of the Brante family will gain a hereditary title. This is your grandfather's dying wish. Gloria sighs loudly. Then why am I here, Sir Robert? She's right. This is a Brante matter. Wait until I finish, Stefan. I am still the head of this household. If you are truly so concerned about honor, show your father some respect. It can't be helped. Not all of us are noble, but now we must be united as never before. We must work together to protect the reputation and wealth of this family. But you, Stefan, perpetually humiliate Gloria. Father, all I'm trying to do is put her in her place. You know perfectly well the consequences of any attention Gloria might attract. Our every step is being observed. The nobles will make pariahs of our family for all eternity if they remember Gloria's filthy origins, you and your reckless marriage to Lydia. Father turns red in the face, but with considerable effort he remains composed. That is so. Our grandfather did everything in his power to remedy your mistakes. Please, Father, don't repeat them. Gloria speaks up. I'm just trying to live, Sir Robert, but Stefan wants to lock me in a cage so nobody will ever lay eyes on me. That's not it at all. You're lowborn, but you don't live by your lot. You do whatever takes your fancy. You're constantly grumbling about the order of things. Did you know, Father, that she defies all prohibitions on continuing to write poetry? As far as you're concerned, anyone who contradicts you is an insurgent. When will you grasp the idea that you may not argue with a nobleman? I am the heir of this family, and my word is your law. Purple with rage, Father slams his fist on the table. It is rare to see him so furious. Both your elder brother and your sister instantly fall silent. Frightened, Nathan shrinks into a corner. Hold your tongues, both of you. Let Billiam speak. He has witnessed your quarrels. He should know best which of you is in the right.
Ugh.
I think we send Gloria away on a trip.
Yeah.
Spend a little money now.
Yeah. fine. We'll get better at talking with words.
Yeah. This is going to work.
This is gonna solve all of our problems. Like having a girl sister who dresses like a boy.
You take a conciliatory tone. You note that the tempers are running a little high. Your siblings would benefit from spending some time apart. They need to cool off, then try to settle their differences. From what you hear, the town of Valona in the southern part of the province has an excellent resort with healing springs. What if Gloria took a vacation there for a month to try to improve her health and have some rest by the sea? Gloria shakes her head hesitantly. Are you trying to get rid of me, Billiam? Jesus Christ, Gloria. Jesus fucking Christ, Gloria. So I won't be in your way? What am I supposed to do at some twins forsaken spa?
Enjoy it!
Everyone shut the fuck up, I'm trying to think. You patiently explain to Gloria that she'll be able to enjoy some reading, find inspiration in contemplating the waves, and ponder on her future. And then when she comes back, she and Stefan will calmly discuss their issues. Finally, Gloria gives in. A trip to Valona will be costly. I'd like to know who will pay for it. Shut the fuck up, Stephen. Speaking firstly and foremost to your father, you argue that peace in the family is worth any expense. The two of you should indeed spend some time away from each other. Let it be as you suggested, Billiam. Gloria, start packing. Stefan, please send a note to Valona and hire a carriage for your sister. Gloria reluctantly heads off to the coast. This trip forces the family to spend a hefty sum, but without the constant bickering of your brother and sister, the tension at home quickly dissolves. With no need to keep an eye on Gloria, Stefan devotes himself to Anazot's social life. Gloria returns surprisingly serene. After a month in Valona, her temper has mellowed for a time. She is engrossed in her own affairs and does not draw your brother's ire. Well, look at that! Billiam was right!
And now we have no money.
Everyone, thank Billiam. Thanks, Billiam. Oh, wait, I had to say it myself. God, what a bunch of ingrates. We're not broke. We're gonna make it all back. It's just money. We'll make more. It's just
We can
money.
basically print money now.
First, we need to invent paper currency. Then we'll get the government contract. Everyone shut the fuck up. I have a plan. I'm gonna get us through this. The past few weeks in Anazot resemble your first years in the capital when you and Sophia were recruiting people to join the Lawless. You were so full of hope and ambition back then. Slowly, you both begin to make useful friends and acquaintances in the city. Gendarmes, street peddlers, merchants, laborers, vagrants, and each of them requires a unique approach. The techniques you used in Eterna work here as well. You look for the people you need, plan secret meetings, and make sure everything is secure. Sophia delivers one ardent speech after another, berating the Imperial Order. But so far, only a few people have stayed with you after these meetings. You have to hunt for each new member all over the city. Commoners are too afraid. Only the most desperate or insane are ready to join you. There are two members in particular who stand out. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What happened? His name is Flawed.
One is a Father Fod, a creaky old priest with fire in his eyes. He introduces himself as a commoner who has chosen the preacher's path. Does that mean he is a new believer? Fod scoffs at the question. Fwad. Excuse me. Fwad.
You ever just look at your hands? Hey guys!
I'll put it this way. The only words that are true in those are those the twins tell you themselves. And I've heard their voice plenty. But the priests who just cook up some nonsense and call it divine law, they're either crooks or fools. All of them. And Isatius is the biggest crook and fool of them all. Had he lived in any other city in the Empire, he would have already been burned at the stake for these words. But here in Anazot, Fwad freely preaches in various taverns and squares. Moreover, the old man is well educated, so you hire him as a typesetter and even let him sleep in the storeroom.
Where do we let him bathe?
Hey, and this is Father Fouad, our typesetter. He lives in the closet.
And he bathes outside. He bathes outside. Every day.
He's gonna start deciding not to wear clothes at all.
He bathes outside every day. More. And when the time comes to assemble a mob or spread some rumors, he will surely come in handy. The other is Alita Siren, who works at the print shop as a bookbinder. A quiet and innocuous young woman, she nevertheless believes in your words and your struggle with all her heart, and her innocent appearance hides an ardent will. Why would she choose to fight against the Empire? When Alita explains, you do not expect to hear cold steel in her voice. My sister was hanged in Eterna after the trial of the 50. I know I might sound like a weepy little girl, but I'm not looking for pity. I just want the murderers to hang. That's it. Sophia's speeches are always brimming with passion and sincerity. She speaks out against the injustice of the Empire and calls for people to fight with such intensity that sometimes you find yourself getting swept up by her words, nodding along with the rest. When she speaks, Philippe's plans in the secret chancellery disappear, replaced by a vision of a new world where justice and freedom reign. But this illusion passes every time, and when it does, the truth about your conspiracy always feels more crushing than ever. You gave all your employees a day off today. Sir Philippe Ilfero is coming to Anazot. Your print shop is the first place he will visit. Sophia stuffs tobacco into her pipe over and over again, trying to look calm behind the smoke. You hear the sound of hooves in the wheels on cobblestones. A carriage comes to a halt outside. A man walks past the windows and knocks at the heavy front with the door with the handle of his cane.
She's got her pipe, and it's just like a little mound of tobacco.
Yep. Just stuffs it so full that when she lights it, it just like... You open it hurriedly. Philip is not alone. He is accompanied by a man with sinewy arms and the face of a predator. Once inside, the secret chancellery advisor slowly takes off his cloak, then inspects the premises with care. Sophia was right. Excellent choice. Well done, Brante. I had my doubts about you, but those doubts are gradually being erased. You are indeed a man of many talents. Speaking of talents, allow me to introduce you to Oliver Moss, a friend of mine. I brought him all the way from Eterna to help you out. His skills are even more unusual than yours, Brante. It's amazing how much a person can learn to do when he's well paid. Oliver grins at Philip's words. The toothy smile cuts through his face like a gruesome scar. You flatter me, Sir Philip, but you're right. Coin works wonders. Philip chuckles at that. He produces a small flask from a pocket and takes a little sip. But you, Sophia, you disappoint me. I expected to see a functioning organization. But I am told that what you have here is not a secret society, but a miserable rabble of the worst people in the city. Just look at this self-proclaimed priest, Fouad. Were we in Anazot, this hotbed of heresy and rebellious ideas, how come you weren't able to find skillful conspirators here? I need a nice little revolt that's easy to suppress. I need a network of spies to dig up dirt on anyone who may stand in our way. Is this too much to ask? You did this job perfectly well in Eterna. What's the matter, Sophia? Can't you do the same thing again? Sir Philip, Brante and I are going out of our way to get more people into our ranks, but things are not looking too good for us right now. The province has a new overseer. Citizens are hopeful. They expect change. So the only people who will come from us are the very bottom of life. This rabble is dangerous. They will ruin my plan and they will bring you and Brante to the gallows. And this time I won't be able to do anything for you. Get rid of them and find conspirators who can be trusted with real work. I have too many enemies here in Anazot. The local magistrate alone is a huge thorn in my side. You have to act faster. Time is of the essence. Or maybe you have more important things to do than serving the Empire. We are doing everything in our power, Sir Philip. But in order to prepare our plan, we must recruit as many people as possible, and this is what we are doing. Don't try my patience, Sophia. I said get rid of the rabble, find real conspirators, carefully vet each and every one of them. Sophia lowers her head, unable to further argue with the powerful advisor. Philip suddenly turns to you. Brante, you're the main recruiter for the society. What do you say? Can you do this job for me? Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah. F that guy.
You take a quick look at Sophia. She nods to you faintly. You look Sir Philippe straight in the eyes and say, firmly, Sophia is right. You cannot gather an underground movement if you disdain the support of paupers and vagabonds, or as Sir Advisor calls them, rabble. After all, you declare, you do not need to prepare a real uprising against the government. All you need is a small riot of commoners, doomed to fail, and for this purpose, these poor bastards will do. Your words of support reinvigorate Sophia. She continues to argue her case. That's my point exactly, Sir Philippe. Philippe frowns in disappointment. If you are both so confident, so be it. Recruit any fanatics or street scum you want. As long as they are helping us reach our goal, I don't care. But remember that you will pay with your lives for any mistake. None of this rabble should be aware of our true purpose. I advise you against testing my patience. You're one straw away from breaking the horse's back. Speaking of straws, I believe your secret society still needs a name, right? The Last Straw will do just fine. It's simple, grim, pompous. The lowborn ought to like it. Oliver, I'm leaving you in the care of our rebels. Show them how real secret chancellery agents get things done. Philip downs the last of his flask and walks out of the print shop. Sophia shares a word with you before following him.
Thanks for backing me up. If we do have to do Philip's dirty work, let's at least do it our way, right?
With that, Sophia waves goodbye, scowls quietly at Oliver Moss, and walks out the door. You are left alone with Oliver. The sinewy man chuckles.
We're gonna get along just fine, Brant. Don't you worry.
Lovely.
The Last Straw is growing stronger by the day. More and more names are being added to your list of potential recruits.
Dress fancy tomorrow, Brant, but don't look too rich. We're going to a salon, a gathering of young poets.
Uh-oh.
They're all commoners, mostly new believers, so they think they aren't defying their lot by writing poetry. This will be their first meeting ever. I say we take a gander. Who knows, they could be useful.
Uh-oh.
You go to a small building in the very heart of the city. The first floor was once a tavern, but it has been converted into a stage with benches for the audience. The place is noisy and crowded. Those who cannot find a seat squeeze into the spaces between the benches. You and Sophia stand in the back corners, far away from each other. A young man in a threadbare jacket makes an announcement. Welcome to the first weekly gathering of the Anazot Poetry Society. The poets are all young men and women. They take turns walking up to the stage from the benches to read a poem or two of their own creation. They look humble and shy at first, but as they declaim their stanzas, their voices ring with sudden strength and daring fervor. A mighty giant with his head held high, his heavy tread, his trained and measured stride. He is an effigy of low-born life with naught but chaff and rugs and dust inside. By low-born labor granted food and clothing, he is indeed a terrifying sight, but look behind his eyes and you will find not grandeur or renown, but fear and loathing. Behold the azure skin, the bred contempt, their past long turned to ash, their blue blood bled, their majesty in flames, their mantles rent, ensconced in diamonds, whites and rubies red, the glimmering giant rots his essence spent, the gems may glitter, but the husk is dead. The poems recited on stage display exceptional variety, rhymed couplets, blank verse, short stanzas, lengthy cantos, pathos-laden ballads, vulgar screeds, humorous epigrams, scathing tirades.
Alright, who scheduled the pathos-laden ballads next to the vulgar screeds?
But in each and every voice you hear the same pain, the same weary ache born of servitude, the gnawing grievance with the gods, the shimmering rage against the empire, and dreams of another destiny, another life, another existence. A commoner, the word is like a brand. The twins themselves once told me to be silent. I want to scream, can't take this anymore. The misery around me knows no end. The gentlefolk just beat us and demean us. The young, the old, the poor, the sick, the tired. They tread upon us, gazing at the heavens that feed upon our sweat-soaked suffering. Every poem fills the room with loud applause. Every line resounds in people's hearts. This much is clear from their faces. Some mark every word and verse with a nod, while others cannot hold back tears. With the zeal of preachers guiding their flock to their lot, these young poets chastise the ills of worldly life with every word they utter. You join the applause. Like it or not, their poetry hits home. Some of the poems are crafted so well you find yourself eager to read them. This kind of poetry would be in great demand here in Anazot. What a shame no print shop would agree to publish it. Later that night, you rejoin Sophia to discuss what you have seen.
I've never heard anything like that before.
I can't do it.
I'm used to nursery rhymes and bawdy drinking songs, but this is something else.
You cannot help but nod. The meeting was like a sermon, and the poet's words hit as hard and as true as the sacramental lash. And the audience, you recognize the look in their eyes. People look at Sophia just the same way every time she uses her magic.
Thing is, they have no magic. They can see the truth. They talk about it so well. Can't even stand it. Well, what can I say? I'm glad we went. Those kids could easily spark a riot with just a rhyme or two. Boo! But the question is, what are we supposed to do with them?
It is a good question indeed. A difficult question. Those young poets are at their strongest when they speak from the heart. Trying to tame their ardor would be like playing with fire. You could recruit them, but it would not be easy to use them. If you cannot keep them in check, one day they will inevitably incite a rebellion. Maybe it would be wiser to nip this in the bud and put an end to their society right now. Nope. The secret chancellery could easily deal with them, but you could also report them to the prefecture. The gendarme could take care of them in no time. Or maybe you could pass the case along to Father. This might do his career some good. Or perhaps, this all seems so new, so unknown. Is there any other way you could harness the strange new force of nature?
Ooh! Wealth!
Wealth, manipulation, spy
Yes.
network gets hit, and unrest goes up.
Oh!
And then unrest goes up, spy network goes down, eloquence goes +1. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh, and
told you.
Gloria gets to help.
Yeah. I told you we would make the money back. You gotta spend money to make money. With a smile, you assure Sophia that you know a way to harness their youthful ardor.
Oh yeah? Okay, do it. Then.
In spite of her lowly lot, your sister has been writing poems and stories ever since she was a little girl. As Gloria grew up, she easily found like-minded friends, poetry-inclined commoners like her, and you saw a number of her friends on stage tonight. Now that you think about it, you have expected Gloria to be there as well.
Only half?
I 100% thought. Back home, you tell your sister how impressed you were by the Poetry Society. As the owner of your own print shop, maybe you could compile their works into a book of poetry. It would be the Empire's first book of poetry written by commoners.
That we know of.
That still exists. You can turn a handsome profit and make the poets famous all over Magra. Could Gloria tell her friends about this idea? Wow, I never thought you'd have the nerve to try something like this. Sure, I'll have a word with my friends. I'm sure many of them will be interested. But there's one thing. They'll never use their real names in the book, otherwise they'll get into trouble with the prefecture or the secret chancellery. Actually, are you sure this is a good idea? Can you really trust the people at your print shop? Maybe you should do all the work yourself at night. That way nobody will know, and you'll have to distribute the books in secret too. You shouldn't put your freedom at stake for the sake of coin. Not to worry, you assure Gloria. You have thought of everything. The poets' real names and the origin of the book will remain a secret. I can't tell you how happy this makes me. There's so many talented poets in Anazad, and they never even hoped their works would see print. They'll treasure your gift forever. It does not take you long to get started. The compilation entitled The Voice of Anazad is soon ready. You instruct Alida, and the other last straw spies to sell the books in secret all over the city. Will do, Billiam. When it comes to this job, young Alida is even more eager than ever. After all, many of the poems in the book are dedicated to the suffering of those who struggle against tyranny, including those who died in Eterna after the trial of the 50.
She's sneaking her own poems in there.
Yeah, just like slips one in. You see several hundred copies in a matter of days. You sell several hundred copies in a matter of days and receive many requests to print more. Popular, rare, and banned by the authorities, the book turns a significant profit. You keep working on new print runs and sell them easily, even at 3 times the price of a normal book. Yo! The poems are quoted all over town. They are declaimed by young people in the squares and on the streets. They are put to music and sung in taverns. They are written in paint and soot on the walls. More and more young people recite them instead of prayers. I want to scream. I can't take this anymore. The Okay. Moderate means.
Hey!
Cash money.
Ooh! 21!
Forever 21. Okay, we should thank subs and move on.
Let's
but I
do
like
it.
where this is going. This is all going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. Oh, we should probably read this and get through this so we can save. Two powerful lords have been struggling for power in Magra for over 2 years now. The new overseer of the province, Gaius Tempest, cannot seem to rein in the obstinate spirit of Archduke Tarquinius Melanidas. Unwilling to accept that he is no longer the overseer of Magra, the Archduke still stubbornly continues to assert his right to rule the province. Most of the Magran gentry, who swore allegiance to him generations ago, remain loyal to him even now. Gaius Tempest has publicly demanded that the Archduke recognize the Overseer's rule as legitimate. I am the voice and the will of the Emperor Uther II in the province of Magra. All lands, deeds, and titles notwithstanding, Archduke Melanidas must obey his sovereign's will and heed his decree. I hereby extend to the Archduke an offer of peace. Should the Archduke cease his insubordination, his lands, deeds, and titles shall remain his own. The Archduke's response to the Overseer was openly defiant. Since the days of yore, the land of Magra has belonged to the Melanidas destiny. We are part of the Empire, and we are the Emperor's loyal servants. However, our dynasty will not stand for such intrusion upon their lawful rights and privileges. Never before has an Archduke been stripped of his right to represent the Emperor's rule in his own province. So do not forget, Sir Overseer, that the highest noble families of Magra have sworn fealty to me alone. Neither the Archduke nor the Overseer will relent. Both are too powerful to be readily disposed of. The bad blood between the two Archons has festered for too long, and the common people have begun to pay the price for their strife. Stripped of the Overseer's tax privileges, the Archduke Melanidas has decided to impose his own levy upon the citizens and villagers of Magra. The commoners are now forced to pay taxes twice, first to the Overseer, and then to the Archduke. Dudes, come on.
Yep.
One more editing pass, I feel, could have helped.
Yes.
I mean, there's probably a billion lines of text in this game. But this double burden is too much for the common people of Magra to bear. Many have refused the second tax outright as a lawless measure, but the Imperial Legion, led by young Dorius Auton, is ruthless. Eagerly and without mercy, the Legion soldiers collect the Archduke's due in cities and villages alike.
Okay.
All right, let's save.
Get it. Yes.
All right, so I'm continuing to enjoy this. I think this is a lot of fun. I would like to try to play it next week again.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how our tale of Billiam Brant ends.
Yes.
You can just, if you take us to booth, you can auto start user if you want. Auto first. Yeah, that should. Yeah. Hopefully. Well, that's to load the starting user.
Oh, okay.
And then you start to get the
Gotcha.
totally fully loaded subscriber list, starting with easy as that.
Oh, 100 months, exciting. Foxmar, hey, thank you for that 101 month.
Welcome back, Ilara Rockstar, 2nd month.
Canoe Crasher for the 47th month, much appreciated.
Hades Leprechaun, 30 months, thank you.
Limonene 12, one of my favorite Ethines.
Cape Sonor, 76 months, thank you.
Chaotic Zed has come back for the 29th month, thank you.
Dark Knock, 63.
Axes for 33 months, much appreciated.
And Gawag, happy anniversary, 4 years.
Wizzo 1138 has returned for the 15th month, thank you.
It's the THX number.
It is.
And I know we got some bits.
I saw some.
It's 50.
From Xantos69. Thank you.
And then now you hit the clear button. Ta-da!
Brilliant. Thank you, Paul.
So I think Let's Nope is gonna be popping in here in about half an hour. I think they're still Dinfning.
That sounds right.
Dinfner.
They might be
Dinfinity.
remoting in, actually.
What?
Yeah, they were at Command Fest.
What? Phasmophobia. No, it's Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
There's a group thing doing Phasmophobia.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Well, that will be fun.
That's exciting. Tomorrow
We're
head-to-head.
warhammering.
We're hamming
Yeah, it's the Traitoris Militarum Blooded.
versus the Harlequin Void Dancer troupe.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, we're doing a bonus stream with Heather where we paint more terrain.
Yep.
So that we don't only have so much terrain.
Yes. I'll bring in some of the stuff that I have. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Okay, get out of our house. Bye. We love you.